Yeah, this weekend. Yeah, tomorrow we're gonna have 2 pseudo podcasts. We'll be rolling hard. Let me go ahead and take care of this. Kill that audio because I can hear myself. Alrighty.
So tomorrow I was supposed to be working with this like Britney impersonator.
Oh, Britney Spears impersonator?
Mm-hmm.
Word. Here.
Try that.
Okay.
See how that rolls. I'm trying to think of what I want to drink actually before we get too much more started.
Tastes like juice. Is there any alcohol?
Yeah.
You sure?
It's about a shot and a half.
Can you put another shot in there?
Sure.
Yeah, she ain't gonna be shy.
Is there really alcohol in there?
Yep, it's a liqueur.
Yeah, liqueurs are sweet.
All right.
Like, you ever had Grand Marnier? I'll grab that actually.
To be fair, it's only 20% alcohol by volume.
Okay.
Where's my Grand Marnier? There's my baby. I'll try this too.
Nice.
Grab one of these. Oh, we're loaded with liquors here. I'm coming to find, I guess, the best thing I could actually have is a bunch of liquor that I never drink, but I always will have like sips with guests on the podcast. We are live, we know.
We're live now?
Welcome to the Jailhouse Parlor. Oh, we've been live for a minute. Like,
Dude,
since
you just let me sit here on my phone.
Yeah, we ain't exactly starting the show all together, just hanging out.
Gosh, I know, but
You good? Run through your text, boy.
All right.
We got Arius on this week, or at least this episode, because this is not a weekly show by any stretch. And I kind of wanted to just, run through it anyway. All right, what is this? This is another triple orange liqueur. This is Grand Gala. And for those watching live, and if you want to play 7 Days to Die with Melanie, she's on right now. I don't know if there's anyone actually watching that would care about that, but it's a fun fact. How is this? Yep, like Grand Marnier. Woo! Got that sugar in the freaking cap too. Oh. A little bit of warmth. Ooh, that is tasty. That is tasty.
What are you drinking?
Tried this out.
Is it sweet too?
Yeah, it's a liqueur. Give it a little taste. Orange.
Oh.
A little bit of kick.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Probably get some Sprite in that. Actually, a real good combo with that, Dr. Pepper.
I would definitely do some Dr. Pepper or root beer.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, orange root beer.
Or that new orange Coca-Cola.
Yeah, but like it'd be orange Coca-Cola that's fun.
Ooh, for sure. Dude, that put a little hair on my chest. Wow.
That's good. Are you ready to jump into this yet?
I think so.
Alrighty.
I'll text you later.
Don't mean to rush you on that one.
No, there was no rush. I never feel rushed.
That was good.
That's bad.
Go ahead and grab that mic. Don't knock over the glass with it, and try to keep. You can be. Don't be shy with it.
Okay.
Yeah, try to keep that with like a fist away from you. Like it'll rotate pretty freely and everything.
Keep it a fist away from me, like right
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Just so you can got good stuff. Make sure it's got a little MXL logo. See that right there?
No, I don't see that. Okay, yeah, I see it.
Just make sure that's sort of facing you per se.
Boom, right there.
Go. Yeah. Wow. So this episode we have on Arius Extraordinaire.
Hello. I don't even know where to look. Where am
Well,
I?
the camera's up there. You can
Okay.
see that screen right there. Those cameras aren't working.
Just
that one.
that one. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Great.
The rig will not run those other 2 cameras. I spent a lot of hours yesterday trying to make them work.
This is awkward. I'm gonna put this on the other side.
Oh yeah, figure it out. Get
Look at
comfortable.
this.
Get comfortable. We're gonna be here for.
He thinks we're
bit.
gonna be here for a while. I'm gonna be here for 10 minutes, y'all. It's gonna be a quick podcast.
You act like you don't got nothing important to say.
I have nothing.
I remember standing there in the middle of freaking UCF ballroom where freshmen get their shit together, and you're sitting there throwing out spoken word like.
Man, that was so long ago.
I know. That's where me and Ty were starting to get to know.
Oh my gosh, man! UCF times were the greatest times of my life. The growing times.
Seemed like a good time.
It was.
I still
want
want to like. I'm gonna run it out. I think I ran it out before, but still want to run it at Randall with all like the video that was captured, and I gave it to him from that showcase. And then nothing came of it. It's like, dang.
Stuff happens, man.
Mm.
Am I on the wrong side?
Yeah, it's got a marble look to it.
Ew, I thought that was.
It's not dirty. It's intentional.
I really thought it was dirty, and I was like, I want to be on the clean side.
No, it's intentional.
Bad.
It's intentionally dirty looking, much like your shorts. So
y'all can't see my pants, but Aaron tried to rank me for my pants earlier. He talking about
look like they got mulch dust on them, fool.
Hey man, they're supposed to be grungy looking, just like my dingy socks. Okay,
grungy,
dirty kind of cut up. Look like I wanted that. Look,
acting like you don't got no washing machine at home. At least. You got no dishwasher at least.
Come on, man. You know I still use the scrub board. Don't play me. I just.
You don't work. What are you talking about?
I work sometimes as I put on my chapstick.
Basically. Oh my gosh. Is that the hardest thing you've done all day with chapstick right there?
Mm-hmm. Actually, no. It was fluff my pillow to put my head back down. God damn it. And that was. I actually overslept this morning. I felt so bad.
When'd you wake up?
Ask me what time I was supposed to get up.
What time do you normally...
I think... Well, normally my body wakes up around 8 or 9. That's
okay.
like a good day. But I was supposed to get up to go to this breakfast at 8. And I usually don't set an alarm because my body naturally wakes up super
but how
early.
late were you up last night?
It usually doesn't matter, you know.
But here you are about to tell me how you were late for an appointment, for a breakfast appointment with someone, and
it was like a work breakfast, you know.
Oh,
and I had RSVP'd and everything. It was in my calendar, and I was gonna go. And when I woke up and that clock said 10 something, I said, "How?" I literally was just like, "How?"
You got betrayed by that.
I got betrayed by my body because I was so reliant and so used to just, naturally waking up around 7 and then being like, all right, I can go back to sleep or continue my day. And then my body was like, nah, we're going to get up around 10 something today.
See, I have that superpower too, where like you're about to go to bed, you're looking at the clock, it's like 10, 11 o'clock. I'm going to wake up at 7 tomorrow. Clunk, wake up, it's like 6:55, perfection.
Right.
Off we go. And then sometimes you wake up and you're like, oh shit, I've missed 2 days.
Right? My goodness.
Like I've been dead. I have been dead for 2 days. I have missed everything and no one loves me now.
Dude.
Would you have that? You have that sleep in too hard or too long? Like I'm gonna sleep in because I can. I'll feel even better. And then it's like 3 extra hours of sleep.
I used to.
And you feel like shit.
I used to. Not anymore. I kind of just listen to my body. If I need to nap, I nap. And if it's a long nap, it's a long nap. But
no.
Before, I would take long naps. Like, it would be like...
4 hours.
Right. 5 and 6. Me waking up at night and being like, all right, let's start my day. It's like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
Overnight shift stuff.
Right. This is like me in college.
I have to go to a warehouse and throw stock for 5 hours.
Like, what am I doing? What? Wait, what?
Well, I mean, I did retail, so like I literally had start at midnight.
Oh,
get off like at 9.
When you said stock, I was thinking meat. I don't know why my brain went straight to meat packing. I was like,
it's an option. It's a job. It's a well-respected job. You hating on meat packers?
No, not at all. I just, it's one of those things that you
shitting on beef boys?
Not at all.
Phil works really hard to pack that meat.
Phil does not like you shortening his name like that. It's Philip, okay?
Philazander.
Philazo. How many Phil names can you have? Philip, Philazo, Philanzo,
DeFranco.
That's not. That doesn't even have Philip in it.
It's his last name, so I'm just gaming.
I meant like how many Phil? What?
Philippine.
Phil Harmony.
Phil of shit.
Full squawking.
Fellatio.
What? You're tripping now.
Filatio.
I quit. I take back the question, actually.
It was a good question.
Was it? The answers were not what I was looking for.
I feel pretty good about it.
Okay.
I did not know I could literally name like a future male child that.
You can't.
I can.
Thank you, Melanie. You can't.
If no one wants him at the orphanage, I'll name him whatever the fuck I want.
I have my friend Reva, who just now moved to Philadelphia.
Oh,
I wonder if
Philadelphia.
she's gonna
Another
watch
Phil name.
this.
Another Phil name.
Philadelphia. That is
Mhm.
another Phil name.
Yeah,
She
it's a horrible name for a
we
chick.
or a guy. Philadelphia. I think there was a Philadelphia. I think I knew one.
It
Not
had-
like in real life.
Like
but
you
on
met a
TV.
Philadelphia and you said, "Can you please leave? You shouldn't exist right now."
No. It was more like it was on TV, and I went, "Can you leave? Please not exist."
Mute.
Exactly. But no, I was talking with my friend Reva about names, and I was like, I really like her name, but instead of it being like me naming my child Reva, it would be like Reve. And she was like, "You're trying to get your kid beat up. Like, just don't."
I want
do
you to know
that."
that's a black kid's name right there.
Of course
That's
it
a
is.
black kid's name.
Do you not see my skin? Of
No,
course
I
it's a
do.
black.
I just respect you more than that.
Oh my gosh. I definitely want my kid's name to be a type of name that when it's looked up on a paper, I want people to be like, I can't hire them just so they can feel how racist they are.
They gotta feel how racist they are.
I want them to feel.
See, I got a friend whose brother works like management, and he's like, he doesn't. He was like, I feel racist. Like that's annoying.
Really?
Yeah, it's like it's one of those where like he reckons that like it's a pretty good guess. Like they're probably like black because like
More than
frankly,
likely.
only black people do that.
More
It's
than
just-
likely.
it's its own play.
We're
But it's-
creative.
But I can give that. But it's one of those where it's like can't pronounce it. Don't want to deal with it.
Well,
Oh, it's Joe. It's Jose. It's Philip. A little bit more workable.
gonna have some boring names in that CEO.
Not
room.
interested in boring names. Interested in competent people. I
Me
think.
too, and I think a name does not detail if someone is.
I do
competent
not
or
think it does. But if you're in an application process of about 100 people,
Mhm.
they're gonna go for the easy names.
Yeah, and that's so.
Last thing
lazy.
you want to do is put your interview in an awkward situation. Like your name
Last
is.
thing I want to do is be a part of an establishment that considers a name too hard to deal with because they can't pronounce it.
Well, basic things.
I know, right? I'm not a basic person, so.
I'm aware. That's why you're here.
This liquor is really great, by the way.
Well done, honey.
Thanks.
Don't die.
I think the game is called Die.
I
though.
think she's gonna die though.
What is the game called?
That's 7 days to die.
See, I was like, don't you have to die? In the
Yeah.
game?
No, you don't have to.
You're
but
supposed to live.
the penalty for death is pretty low on that game though. Here's the problem actually though, is that she'll sit there and play that and it'll distract my guests.
Just like it's doing
Oh
now.
yeah.
I'm just like, but what is she beating the zombies with?
Oh, it's a stun baton.
Okay, at first I was like, is it a gun? Why she's not just shooting it?
No, I don't know why she doesn't have her gun. She has a shotgun, but nope, you
Hey,
died.
Melanie, you died.
You suck.
I'm aware.
Oh.
I don't have a gun because I only have a single shot in my gun when it takes too long to reload.
Unfortunate.
Oh
It
man.
is.
So what have you been up? When's the last time we saw you? I think it was your birthday out at like Wekiva Springs or something.
Dude, I think it was my birthday. My
Yeah.
23rd birthday.
And how old are you now?
I'm getting ready to turn 25 this year.
Oh, so we missed you for a whole year
A
actually.
year and a half.
Yeah.
Maybe two. Let's
Almost
see, if
2
it was
years.
my birthday, and then I turned 24, and then it's coming up on this 25.
Mhm.
It's almost been 2 years, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's been a long time.
Glad to see we were able to keep it together.
Me too. And I would say my 23rd birthday, that was like the first time that I had kind of, put together
A week.
anything.
You had a week long.
a weekend. It was a weekend.
It was a
3-day
weekend.
weekend.
Yeah.
Of events.
We chased you all over the fucking town trying.
And
to,
I'm so glad you guys joined me.
finally made it out to like Wekiva Springs or
Right.
whatnot. Or what was it? Where
we
was
went
it?
to Wekiva Springs. Yes, it was that Kelly Springs part.
It was
also
Kelly
known
Springs,
as-
way out there.
It's the same thing, I think. I think they're interchangeable, but it is way out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
was a-
And then you went. Did you go skating with me that night,
Yeah.
or the next night, or whenever that night was?
No, we did.
We went skating and then we went back to Randall's and
Right.
played like Ka.
Yes, we did.
I like ran train on that shit.
But was that all in the same day?
Yeah.
Holy shit! I did a lot for my 23rd birthday, and it
Mhm.
was so memorable.
Oh, it
like,
was great.
dude, it was still like
It was great.
a life landmark for me.
Cause
honestly.
I appreciated that for like just kind of really getting to know you. But like after that that birthday party for Ty and Toe, I was like, we solid. I got to actually like properly like meet Randall and have a little rapport build with him because like I had a whole like spell with like Ty just like getting to know her and hanging out with her at one time. And then Toe, I'd just run into enough, and we just because Ty had told me, I was like, you know who you freaking hit it off with? Torian. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll put that in my cap, save it for later. And
for
then
sure.
True.
was
Then
True.
saw you at the Ruckus showcase. And I was like, oh, that's some Malcolm X shit right there, man. That's
Thank
some
you.
big talk right there. That's good
Man,
stuff.
that's a big name to be comparing me to.
Well, you had really good words at that time, so I'll do a snapshot, but I ain't gonna do the whole life statement.
No. Thanks. That was just a really big.
It was just like I saw passion. I was like, all right, like perspective I can't speak on, but I ain't gonna call anyone a liar when it's spoken that well. But Randall just been hanging out in the background. So like once I got to like sit down, be like, nice to meet you, and then just like talk because we
Yeah.
actually shit's not here. Him and I have the same lighting set
You and
from like
Randall?
Amazon. Yeah,
Oh, that's dope.
it's like it's like $200 lights on my car right now.
He was telling me he just put some big money on some lights.
At the time?
At the time,
Yeah,
I was gonna
yeah,
say
yeah.
not just now,
Yeah.
but like at that time.
It's a good set, but they come with blue lights instead of anything warm. So like you have to like throw a little bit more money down to get better stuff for it.
Always gotta spend the money.
You gotta get shit, you gotta buy shit.
True.
Value for value.
I was gonna say I'm always down to pay some my money for some good quality stuff, you know, especially if it's gonna help me go up in my career or my wants or whatever I'm trying to do. I'm gonna definitely put some money into some quality.
Oh yeah. No, definitely. You got anything you're running at now? Because it's been, effectively 2 years. So what have you been doing since taking over the Springs Park
Oh my gosh.
in Cimarron Skateway?
Dude, it's like a cliche.
Because you've been like just doing a bunch
working.
of just been working.
Yeah,
Just
I've
throwing
been doing
mulch.
a bunch of stuff, but I would say everything that I'm doing is on my career path. It's all performance based and or teaching based, and I'm using my degree, and it's crazy how much I'm using.
What
my
was
degree,
your degree?
I studied theater
Uh-huh.
with a minor in education,
Okay.
and I had a concentration in stage combat.
I concentrated in stage combat.
Yeah,
So like choreographing combat.
Yeah, I
for
learned how. I got certified in some weapons: unarmed, quarterstaff, a broadsword, and rapier and dagger. Which is
I take that's pretty easily transferred to a movie set.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, so the reason I started doing that was first I was like, well, with me being a BA theater studies, we were able to do a little bit more than like the acting majors or the musical theater majors, and I was like, what else can I do besides teach? And I want to have a full plate. And I already danced, but I didn't want to be a dance minor because I was already on Ruckus.
Yeah, that's gonna get you your degree effectively.
You know, I'm already dancing
Yeah.
enough. I was like, what else can I do? And I was like, let's do some fight choreography.
Yeah.
And so I picked that up, dude, and I was really good. And I got passed in 4 out of 8 weapons. I still want to get those other 4. David Reed, you're probably not watching this, but I'll send you the link so you can, because I still am gonna get
Start
those
at
other
this
4
time.
weapons, right? What is the time right now?
Well, we have no idea.
Me either. Oh well.
So what are the total 8 weapons?
So like I said, I have 4 of them: unarmed, broadsword, quarterstaff, and rapier and dagger. Then you have short sword, knife, long sword, and sword and shield.
Okay, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, so those are the other 4.
So that kept you like kind of. So is it just timing that prevented you from getting like all 8?
Yeah,
Because it's like you have a semester or 3 to like try to pull through.
Exactly, and then you by the second semester you're just working on the choreography. You have to have 30 hours of like training. Yeah. Before you can even take a test. You know. So
if I was okay with like massive student loan debt, I'd have probably gone into more creative stuff. But I'm pretty okay with my 19,000.
Dude, I'm only, and surprisingly, well, I'm kind of lucky, but I'm only like $20,000 in debt.
Yeah, which is really good for our generation.
Yeah, my sister was like, "Boy, you're nothing. You can get that done." And I'm like stressing over here because now I'm starting to really get into like, you know, paying back my debts and stuff like that, and I'm doing a really good job so far. But it's still not as much as our parents or our brothers and sisters if you have older brothers and sisters.
No, I'm an only child. But, I'm lucky. I'm the favorite.
I'm the youngest.
Oh, the favorite. Obviously. That's why they give you hand-me-down shorts.
True. And guess what? I still wear all my big brother clothes when he can't fit them anymore, and if I like them enough, I be shopping in their closet.
It's free shit, basically. It's like, oh, you ain't gonna wear this.
Exactly.
I ain't see you wear this in 6 months.
Right, and it looked good on me. What you?
Was everyone still living in the same house and stuff, or
who?
Is everyone still living in the same house, or do you have your own apartment now?
I live in a different apartment right now. I used to live with Ty and Nate, and then like I was planning on moving to Georgia, but that thing fell through. You know.
What's in Georgia?
Nothing. I was going to go and do the same thing that I'm doing here, but just in Georgia,
like Atlanta or something like that.
Yeah, in Atlanta, and try and transition to television and film. But I think I'm pretty much doing what I said I wanted to do there here, and I was almost kind of forced here by like I really feel like it was just destined to be because like every time I wanted to go, something else happened. Yeah. Or I'm like, my heart was like, let's go to Atlanta. You got friends there, but then something happened, and then the biggest thing that really happened was just my my car breaking down. And I was like, there's no way I can do that. Now I have to use the money that I saved to go to Atlanta to invest in a new car.
Yeah.
Because I have to still be able to travel around to
Yeah. No, the
do
moment
anything in Orlando.
I think who was I
you know?
talking to?
I used to
Yeah,
take the bus.
I was talking to a friend I'm producing another show with, and once we realized that someone didn't have a car, and they're like a partner piece,
Yeah.
it's the moment you go, oh, their ability to even provide help, at least in physical locations, and be able to get anywhere or keep appointments just dropped like massively. Because like Orlando has shit for public transit, but it's also a very poorly designed city for public transit.
It really is.
Like it's like, well, we have better public transit. Well, I mean, you can have a whole dialogue about how like car dealerships just monopolized how cities and towns were designed, but like Orlando, everything is 20 minutes from itself, if not 40.
Yeah. I literally said that the other day. Like Orlando is 30 minutes from itself.
Yeah, everything's 30 minutes from you.
To an hour at least.
Yeah, like
it's crazy.
The funny thing is that because I have an Airbnb a room here, is that most people are like, are you near the attractions? I'm like, I'm 40 minutes at the most.
At the most.
An hour if you're hitting really bad timing. So like you're gonna, have easy money here on like the northeast side of Central Florida, or you're gonna try to like land some ridiculous timings in Lake Buena Vista.
Yeah, and
like,
that's
right there
just
in town.
Mad expensive for no reason.
Well, yeah. Well, also that like, I think there are probably stats to like back up other interactions, but I swear I-4 and that like Lake Buena Vista, like that shopping complex right there, and that strip that goes by
Kissimmee?
No. What is it?
Magic Kingdom?
No, it's
no. iDrive?
No, it's
the
where
one
downtown
that's
Disney, downtown Disney.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah,
I was trying to help you. Disney Springs or whatever.
Yeah, Disney Springs what it is now.
Gotcha.
So you know that how it has that like three-way right there because there's that Publix, that whole plaza right there. But I-4 dumps off, three-way stop, and it's always back the fuck up. Always. Like I used to Uber there frequently.
But even with like how bad the construction.
I think it's the Popka Violin. Right.
What is?
I think the Popka Violin's that street there. I think that crosses that three-way, but
I don't know the street name, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. At the end of the strip of all the hotels in town, basically.
Yeah. It's always backed up. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But even with like all the construction that's going on, I kind of know the ins and outs because I drive the freaking I-4 like every day just to go to work.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't stop me from hitting the traffic. I just be in and out and just closing along.
Yeah, people don't like to hear what I have for work because my ass is at work at 6:30.
Yep.
But I'm home by like 3.
Amen.
So like my only issue that I could possibly run into is like school morning traffic.
I actually have to
and I'm usually heading to people's houses,
right.
So I'm heading entirely the opposite direction of their work.
I'm lucky now. I don't have any more mornings. Most of my stuff starts in the afternoon, so I don't really hit any traffic. Maybe some random like rush hour lunch traffic, but I'm getting lucky now, so no more morning traffic. But sometimes that afternoon traffic be killing me.
What are you doing these days? Lawn care or something like that, or what?
Lawn care?
What is it you're doing now?
What do you mean?
Work wise.
Oh,
outside of doing all the creative like
sorry.
theater. And
all
stuff.
of my jobs are like performance based. But like my main stuff that I do, I would say that I'm a teaching artist at Orlando Repertory Theater.
Okay.
I sometimes act there if I decide to, or if I can audition and it doesn't conflict with any of the other things that we're doing, such as I'm also a step coach at Lake Mary High School.
Nice.
I'm an Orlando Magic dancer.
Yeah. Wait, then you know Jacob Eady.
I do know Jacob.
Yeah, I went to high school with him.
You did?
Yeah,
that kid is amazing.
We were cool. We weren't like close friends or really good friends, I'd say, and I think he'd agree. But we were cool with each other.
Yeah. And
that was the epitome of like, here's a guy who doesn't fit the body type of someone that's going to be a dancer or a performer or anything like that, because he's got that broader chested like size. But he just like would just start jumping into some shit at school, and I'm just like, I can't.
Jacob has always been like that. As long as
and he just got to do the national anthem.
He did.
Opening, like,
he ripped that thing apart, yo.
Yeah.
Literally, sometimes like the acts that come there, you know, it's you listen and it's just
it does the job,
and then we clap. And it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. But then when someone else does it and then they're like really like just recomposing
reaching
the music in a sense, it's like you can't help but to react and be like,
yeah.
What? Yes, and you like everyone was vocal because it's just such a different vibe than like
Yeah.
when some of the performances go up and do it.
Well,
But
like
Jacob really killed that stage.
my fun, I have several fun comparisons, but like my
Ugh.
one I run on is from an Eddie Izzard joke where it's like it's the Catholic church, it's like "Hey, oh, hey, oh," and then you go to a gospel church and it's like praise Jesus, we're out of here. Like it's just a different spirit
You know,
coming
it's
into
just
actually being creative and crazy with
I
it.
don't know. It's insane how like people can do things with their voices and the sounds and harmonies they can find. And
Yeah,
that boy, and again, his mom is also like trained in operatic singing too. So
Yeah.
like he's only bound to be
creative and in that
exactly
area, unless
exactly.
it's a hard personality shift.
Yeah,
in
we
terms
went to
of
karaoke one time and he sang Amy Winehouse and she's like one of my favorite artists and he did a great job. So good. I'm like, Jacob, I hope you're watching this. I like the way you sing, bro.
clip that shit. Just send it to him. Yeah, much love. So do you like work with him regularly or something like that?
Yeah, I see him every other night when I'm at a game.
Nice.
Every other night. I'm
nice.
like, hey Jacob, how you doing? Hug him. He comes in and brings like the kids to come and see us because he's on the 3-2. What the liquor doing? He's on the 3-2. He's on the 3-2-1 hype squad. So he's in the same department, but they do something different. So like sometimes he brings our guests. If we're doing like a fan fest or like the kid comes.
How long you been
backstage
working
with
with
us.
Magic?
This is my first year,
Okay,
bro.
okay, because I knew
just
someone
started.
that I graduated with someone who worked
Just started.
there, but now she's up in Kentucky or whatnot.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I know some people who came from the Wizards team who is now on the Magic team. Some people who has been on Predators are now on the Magic team. We have only
There's
one
like a
girl.
rotation of talent, basically. Just
Dude,
where
yeah.
there's work, get work.
Yeah, and also all these people that I'm on the team with, I've either seen in an Orlando dance community or I've been to a class or a dance event where they were there or I've interacted with them. I know like most of these people.
Yeah.
And some of them were also on Ruckus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a small like talent pool of talent here in Orlando.
Yeah.
And I'm just so blessed and lucky.
I think there's a lot of people starting to get the sense of trying to start here and build here.
Dude,
I'm sensing that.
Dude, literally.
And here's my problem.
What?
Is that me and the missus are very much on a get the fuck out of Florida.
Why? Why?
Well, I've been in love with Austin since I went there back in 2015.
Texas?
Yeah.
I was like, who is Austin? Melanie. Get it?
We can adjust that if you need to get it closer or something like that.
No, I was just like trying to like chill.
Keep it fist close and stuff.
Yeah.
Get comfy.
Nah, I'm just trying.
No, like, so I've loved Austin since I went there in 2015 for a convention, but like we got a really good lecture out of someone that at least I greatly respect. And so we're on we were both born and raised here, and we have it very clearly in our minds that we need to leave where we're comfortable if we're going to reach our next pieces of growth, because we want to grab like 5 acres and build like a bunch of shit on it, and neither of us are really tied here. And I kind of see like it went Hollywood, Atlanta's getting built, but like I think Austin is like the next mecca for entertainment, and it's got a great company and a lot of good shits in Austin, and it's up and coming. And we're kind of on the get a few things taken care of here, and then move on out there, and then figure out if we're gonna stay there, go to Southern Colorado, or if something crazy happens and we're kind of going, yeah, we're gonna come home, I guess, but
Right.
we need to leave. We know we need to leave. It's not like.
But you grew up here in Orlando?
Oh yeah, I grew up like.
See, I didn't.
Yeah, I grew up in Chickasaw, over by like literally a neighborhood away from Casey Anthony.
Yeah. But no.
Where would you grow up at? Where'd you come from?
I grew up near West Palm Beach area. You know where West Palm Beach is, right?
Yeah.
You ever heard of Belglade?
A little,
or
yeah.
Pahokee, like Okeechobee area, maybe.
Yeah, you know, I was at the first Okeechobee Music Festival.
Nice, yeah. I'm like in Pahokee area. You have to ride through there.
Yeah, where it smells like cow shit.
Yeah, that's because we burn sugarcane and shit there.
Yeah.
Actually, so yeah, it smells literally like shit.
Yeah,
it's bad. But I'm so used to it that
I drive through. It's like home.
Literally, dude. Literally, my words.
You know what? Like when I'm like flying home, like there's some things that like look at it, but like sometimes you fly in, you see a certain skyline, or like you drive through a certain neighborhood. You know what makes me feel like I'm in my childhood home?
What?
When I hear those cranes cawing. Like that's like I am home, because like my parents bought the house out in the Chickasaw side of town when like things it was still pretty sticksy out there. Like you take what was it? You take Goldenrod all the way down to Curry Ford. Make that left. You take that all the way over to Chickasaw. You take that down to like before Lee Vista, like the whole Lee Vista community.
Yeah, I know
existed.
exactly what you're talking about. My
Yeah.
sister lives
I
over
was
there.
right there, Chickasaw Oaks, like red bricks right by the giant Catholic
Wow.
church. Like I
My
was
sister
in
wants
that
to buy a
neighborhood.
house over there.
It was all sticksy out there. That church across the street from the Catholic wasn't there, all woods. Like, so it's like kind of out there, and it was cool because like it was still rustic and woodsy enough that the cranes you could still hear them.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then they built up, and now they're all dead. Like
the cranes they didn't die. They just went somewhere else, man.
Actually, I see them every day at my job now doing pest control. Because I'll go out to like St. Cloud, Hunters Creek, like, and they're so protected that they're always in the middle of the neighborhoods, just like rooting around and eating worms and shit out of the dirt.
Eating worms and shit.
Yeah,
I love it.
So what brought you up here to Central Florida then?
Well,
like your family moving everything when you were young, didn't have a choice?
No, that's not it. So I know when I was getting ready to graduate, I was looking at schools and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to go too far away from family, and I know that my sister went to UCF, and my brother went to UCF, and I was like, now that they're grown, like they're way older than me.
Yeah,
so
yeah. You're practically an only child, really.
That's what I'm saying. I've been like in the house by myself since I was like 6. So
yeah, so you're an only child by all intents and
literally,
purposes,
you know what I mean? So I was like, let me check out UCF, and they live very close. My sister lived 20 minutes from UCF, or 25, and my brother was like 15 in Oviedo.
Yeah.
So I was like, it'd be a great spot. I got accepted, and I came to Orlando.
Yeah, nice and easy stuff.
So literally, and that's how I got here.
Yeah.
And then I literally thought I was gonna come here. I knew I wanted to do theater by 10th grade because that's when I started. And I was like, I think I'm gonna love this.
I'm so sad.
What?
I'm sad because I should have been doing a lot more creative shit, but I got locked into like doing athletics, like soccer, since I was like, well, like not to make this place about me. Basically, I got soccer when I was like 5 or 6, and I stuck through it through high school, or at least I got to band. And in 6th, 7th grade, I did band. I did trombone.
Me too.
Wah, wah.
Come on now.
Well, I think I started realizing because I came from a pretty Christian, like conservative background, and the one easy reference I have that leads to why I actually fell in love with like good rap and hip hop is actually The Devil Went Down to Georgia, because it was the first time I heard a song. It was one of the first songs I remember hearing, but it was one of the only songs I heard that had complex storytelling lyrics with fantastic music. Because like instrumentals are like, there's a few things of instrumental value that I like and will listen to, but like I listen to this lo-fi hip hop like YouTube stream when I don't want to think, because I'm very attracted to words.
What?
I'm very attracted to lyrics. So like rock was cool and all for like 2 listens, but me trying to get through fucking, and some Eminem shit or early T.I. shit, and like that's just like, oh, I have to spend time to get these lyrics and get this whole story painted out.
Yeah.
And so that's what like really drew me to it. So like doing band, not so much, because like it's just a mechanic blowing your stuff or and all that. Exactly. When I have no clear singing talent, or I have like an affinity for rap, but it wasn't until I was probably doing like drama just as like one of my classes in 7th and 8th grade where it's like probably should have gone into that, but probably should have gone to university. But I may have been burnt out of it, like my very good friend, because of the director there.
How come you didn't like want to like push yourself to pursue it if that's kind of what you enjoyed to do?
Well, it had to do with the instability at home. So like soccer was like there, and I was decent at it. But I wasn't so good at it that I even could get on. The only reason I got on the JV team in high school was because I literally just decided to go out for goalie because I couldn't make the regular team, and I just learned goalie to get on the team.
Got you.
And that's how I got into varsity in my senior year. But I just sat bench the whole season basically, and because of the type of coach that was there and my little playing time, my nerves just hindered my ability to perform as confidently. Like I think I'm a very confidence and emotionally based player. So like, I think it's far more dependent on how my relationship is with like the coach and the team. Like if they have confidence or they've made me comfortable, then I'll literally like deck someone in the face and send them flying, or I'll just fumble like easy shit, like right in my hands, just butterfinger shit. So it had to do with I got locked into Boy Scouts. There's Monday nights. I got locked into soccer, which is 3 days a week, effectively, with like 2 nights and then Saturdays. And then I was doing like, and athletics was like one of my saving graces outside of sleep from like my household. So 3 days a week I was working with the football team, doing weights and then track.
Now,
So
I'm not saying that you didn't do this because you wanted to, but I know that me growing up, my parents, if it's something that I didn't want to do, they weren't gonna make me do it.
well, that was the funny thing. Is like I wanted to do it because it was there. Like the interesting thing about me is that I like work because I understand the value
Well,
of
if
doing.
it was there, wasn't the arts there? Did you have arts at your access?
Well, let's
or like something.
so let's break down where I come from, because I come from a pretty conservative family side. There's
So
nothing.
they probably weren't going for that, and you being in the arts.
They are the type of concern. I basically don't bring up my job or my health insurance situation to my grandmother to avoid the conversation.
See, that's different for me. I think, like I know for me, the arts wasn't what my parents wanted me to do at all.
Yeah.
But I'm rebellious and they can't fight against what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
So they can only encourage me, hey, when you go to school, you might want to do something that's more stable. You might want to. When I started falling in love with it, I couldn't go back then.
No, yeah, I'm with that. Well, that's why do you think I'm doing this?
Right.
Like,
I'm so proud of you.
Like the game with this is
So proud of you, man.
is to do because I got my business degree to basically effectively run a production company that, at the grandest will just beat YouTube, because I don't give a fuck about kids. At least with all the fucking YouTube shit these days.
I love kids.
I love kids too. We're gonna have like 10. Basically, like whatever she's willing to put out, and then we'll just go to the orphanage and start just getting nets. I don't care what color they are.
Oh my god, you gonna have some Monquishas and Jose's.
I know how to use Clorox.
Oh my god, I'm dead. She's gonna watch the baby.
But yeah, no, like my mom always wanted me to be happy. But when you have like all of your high school years, you're with pretty much just an abusive stepdad, and you're getting nothing but like a conservative background on just get a job, do that. Like you're kind of just bogged down between survival, so going into creative stuff just doesn't fit. So like it had far more to do with just I'm gonna stick my nose to the grindstone on what I know and what I do, because I was and through all that I was still able to nail my AP classes.
How old are you right now?
I'm 28.
Yeah, dude, I'm so glad that you're able to kind of like do your own thing now, because it can be very stifling trying to or wanting to do that, but being in and having the mindset of under a conservative, that Christian way of life.
Well, I had to play
and an abusive stepdad.
Well, that's why. Well, that's what me and her have had to sort of help each other with. It's like not counseling each other per se, just being supportive.
Right.
Is the game of we're both actually timing out really well on our own childhood traumas per se. Mm-hmm. And so we're all about to start heading for what we want for our peaks. Because I had to spend the last 10 years like running through like friend-based therapy or other therapies, running through like mom passing, running through handling like a certain type of homophobia, like in the actual technical term, like actual fear or something like that, because my stepdad was actually like gay, but a mad, manipulative, narcissistic, pathological liar. So like my first sort of solid impression of a gay man was him. It was effectively him, and I only got like one really solid good friend that wasn't, but our dynamic was complicated because of how attracted he was to me. So like that really like painted a different thing. And that side of the world actually really fascinates me, because it's sort of there's a lot of things that the gay community, at least the gay male community, like really fascinates me because of the misinterpretations that the straight community, the traditional community, has usually done on anything, whether it is their own community and how like guys and girls can't be just friends,
right?
And I'm just like, and this is a whole nother tangent to go down. Yeah. So
we can talk about this.
Well, yeah, we'll put that on the list. So like, I run through that. I run through finding some sort of fiscal stability, finding the kind of job that's going to let me do what I want to do with my spare time, that's not going to kill me. Because I did retail for 6 years, whether it was like, closing, so I'm getting out at 11, or I'm doing overnights, and I'm getting out at 9, but I need to go to bed at daylight so I can wake up like at 6 with the rest of the world or some shit. So like balancing all that, saving up the money, buying the equipment, getting the right room setting or whatnot, mom passing, burying mom, dealing with mom, moving into her house, and figuring out my own shit so that we could get back together and like start like running this train. So like I'm 28 and going, I'm about where I want to be. Everything
That's
else is
good.
just running the grind and
And you go through your own path and come to a full circle where you can be like, all right, the circle ain't finished yet, but I'm definitely on where I
yeah.
need and want to be.
Well, that's where another one piece that we both did together, and we're gonna when there's a lot more opportunity for, at least in the education side, is actually doing improv.
Nice.
And I see Austin as a better place for stand up as well,
Okay.
because my unfortunate thing is because of how my life was and how depressive I was in terms of like I don't listen to music anymore because I'm not emotional anymore, and it's not that I'm emotionally dead, it's that like my emotional side has been handled like by having a partner and like having a safe place for that, as opposed to just it's just me and whatever friend I can trust right now. So now I can be focused instead of just hanging out on albums and songs and just running through depressive states just to feel something.
Yeah.
So like we want to go to, so what I see in Austin that's not in Orlando is a lot of improv opportunity and stand up opportunity, because of all the depressive things and seriously working on life and just having to be over serious about life to sort of survive.
Yeah.
My ability to get on stage and not take myself too seriously is really hard,
Mm-hmm.
and take myself too seriously all the fucking time in a way.
I will say moving away will probably be your best bet. I know that me moving to Orlando was my choice because I knew I wanted to get away from like my small town because I knew what I wanted to do in a sense, but I would not have imagined me being in this where I am right now doing what I'm doing. And I'm glad we can't foresee the future because God knows it would have eaten me alive to try and figure out how to get where I am now. So I think with you wanting to go to Austin, I think that'll really be a good thing. It's really hard. It's hard as fuck to try and start, in a new place because you literally have to pick up and go and start your whole life over. You got to make new friends. You got to do this. You got to find a job.
That's kind of what
A
we're
B
looking
C D
forward
E
to,
F G. So
like here's
moving
what
away is gonna be great for you.
I actually welcome that, because I have certain relationships that I haven't healed yet, because I've tried and they haven't, or other reasons. And I kind of got to a point when I was like, literally, I was driving down I-4 on the south side of downtown, and I could just see like the downtown skyline, like right before the 408 exit, like before all the recent construction.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I have too many memories here.
Too many ain't no such thing.
I know there's no such thing like on an optimist side, but I need to go.
It's time.
I've been here too long. I've been here 28 years, and I'm aware of what certain sides of my family are alive in me, certain traits that you have. And it's like, I don't want to let those rule me. Like, I'm okay accepting them for what they are and identifying them, but staying in the same place for the rest of my life doesn't
At all.
like if
That's
I'm
how I found
it
myself.
doesn't make me feel happy about like my life lived. Like if I'm gonna be
Right.
sitting there at 80 and just I've never left this house, and I don't even like this house. Like this is my mom's house. Don't like it. I don't like the reason this house may look disheveled in certain areas is because we haven't moved in. She has definitely not moved in because it's not her house, and I haven't moved in because I didn't get to choose this house. So like that's that whole breakdown.
I feel that.
So we got to move. And I think because of what she wants to do with doing plant research and stuff like that, and mushroom research and such like that, we may just go to Colorado, because I don't see Texas's legislation moving swiftly.
Right. But wherever you go, man, just keep going on in your journey, taking care of your mentality, taking care of the healing processes that you're going through right now.
Yeah.
I'm doing it too. Like
Yeah.
I'm coming to some realizations about my childhood traumas too, and I'm dealing with them.
Yeah.
And it's not easy, but I ain't stressing about it because it's gonna have to come up, and I learned how to just embrace what I'm feeling and thinking, and just keep trucking, like you said, just
Keep working.
keep working. I don't even know where the drive comes from, but we can only do two things: live and die.
Get
So,
busy living or get busy dying.
literally, and I want to just stay busy. And I saw my friend made a post the other day. He was like, it sucks that we have to be doing something to feel okay. And I was like, one, it's okay to not feel okay.
Yeah.
Just see why you're not feeling okay, deal with it, and keep trucking.
Yeah.
And 2, what's wrong with having to do something if you like doing stuff
I think
to
they're
be okay? Because if
it's-
you're doing nothing, what are you doing?
yeah. Well,
you
I think
living or
it's one of
dying.
those where like there's meaning.
Right.
And like we're always driving on meaning, and responsibility equates to meaning, and you're
Yeah,
doing the
okay.
work because you're responsible to the work.
Okay, I can understand that.
Like, and the thing that, because I've been running on Jordan Peterson forever, and the every podcast has gotten his name dropped in.
Come on, every podcast.
Every podcast that I've been produced, that I've been on, basically, I can't not bring them up, unfortunately. But I think people like, here's what I have actually told people and help people realize. That's good. It'll warm you up, actually. If you want to taste that brandy. Oh no, go for it. What I've told people, and I think you'll agree with this, is that people will do any type of work for the right people. Like, you'll do garbage work, retail work. You'll do any type of work for the right person who's asking or paying. Let it breathe a little.
I ain't even drink it yet.
You are a soft gay, man. Like, goddamn.
Dang, bro, that hit me.
Nah, just play sip. It'll warm you up. You can go back to this. You can try the other orange liqueur, the Grand Marnier.
Nah, let me put some hair on my chest.
Alright.
I'm gonna let it breathe, like you said. Let me listen to you. What you was saying? Not my bad.
I think I got to the end of it. So you got to. What is there? Like, I think people like need to like, if what was it? It's from fucking like Nietzsche or Dostoevsky, because it's like way quoted. If we had a utopia society basically, and all we had and everything was provided for us, and all we had to do was busy with like eat and drink and busy ourselves with the continuation of the species, we'd destroy the whole damn thing in 2 weeks.
You think so?
Because we love chaos. Like, we love rebuilding or exploring or making things better. Or
You know what I
different.
was thinking, honestly? I was thinking if there was a utopia and we had everything we needed, money and this, that, and the third, and all we needed to do was eat, sleep, and be happy and do shit, I feel like we would, like, it would work. But then that quote that my friend said, like, it kind of sucks that you have to be doing something to feel okay. I feel like people will get bored because
Yeah.
everything is right.
Well, if
And I
everything's
think that's why it's gonna fail.
well, yeah, that's why a utopian idea would fail. That's why it's always
Oh.
failed. That's at least why utopian ideas always fail. Like, that just goes back to like some communist like stuff. Like, the play out is that God is declared dead at the end of the 1800s by Nietzsche, because the Catholic Church has been playing on this whole Revelations narrative forever. Nothing happens. We get pissed. We throw God out the door, and then the 20th century happens with Nazis, communism, and China, and millions die. So like, that's sort of that play out. Now we're sort of dealing with it in a different way here. No, give it a sip. That's good brandy. You get cold, you want to get warmed up, that'll be your shit.
Oh, that's good.
That'll
That's
feel you warm that like in your
smooth.
chest right there and stuff. It's good. Oh yeah, it's good smooth.
Got a little sweet afterkick.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what am I missing on? Keep drinking that sweet stuff.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm sad. You'd love this. It's
That's
Winter Jack.
nice. Winter Jack.
Mm.
You trying to turn me into an alcoholic, y'all?
I'm trying to show you good ideas. You can
Good
just have a.
idea.
It's the best thing about alcohol. Like, it doesn't go bad.
True. That's bad though. It's just be sitting there. What is this?
Oh, that's Edgar.
I had Edgar the cow.
Yeah. Well, he's the cow and the beef.
The cow and the beef.
In the beef.
In the beef.
Yeah, like,
What do you mean?
because well, you have. Let me see the play out here.
Wow.
Yeah, you have Edgar the cow. You can stuff the beef up in him.
Put the beef in his body. Come on now, stop playing. You gotta do the whole thing.
Gotta do the whole damn thing.
Oh my gosh.
Watch me stuff the cow.
This is too cute.
Yeah.
That is disgusting. The beef is inside of him.
Yeah, but like,
And then you can flip him inside out. Why would you want that?
well, I want my beef.
But it doesn't even look. Oh, it does kind of
Minecraft.
look like it is Minecraft beef.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, I get it because
You kill the cow.
you get beef.
Man,
Oh, that's pretty cool. Never
Man,
mind.
there's some Gen Z out there that's so proud of you.
I don't play Minecraft, y'all. I just figured that out all by myself. I was like, well, why would it flip the other way? That's because you got to kill the cow.
Yeah.
Poor little Edgar. Moo moo, you done now? I got the beef, baby. I got the beef, baby. Look at that. Ooh. Wait, I should probably cook that.
You're ridiculous.
All right,
Damn
that was
ridiculous.
cool. Okay. What were we talking about?
So what else are you working at then? Because we were analyzing me on like where I'm basically treating like pseudo and like JHP as
That's
like
okay.
my
We
jump
can take
off
a break.
points.
We gotta talk about me all the time. This could be mutual and equal.
Oh yeah, usually goes that way.
But
But yeah, so like improv I really enjoyed because what improv taught me was to not think because
Right.
I'll think and
Mhm.
get conscious and I just need to let my subconscious and learn to lose.
yeah.
I unfortunately have a very winner's mentality, win at all cost mentality, and I have a problem losing. And at the end of level 2, I basically like had to. My teacher basically had to like, Aaron, yeah, lose. Okay.
Man,
Accept the hug. Curl up. Accept her love. She
gotta-
broke you.
You gotta be able to admit wrong. You gotta be able to lose.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm very competitive and I got the winner's mentality, but I know how to admit my faults.
Well, you know how to lose on stage when you're just playing around.
Right.
And even when I like,
especially on stage, you know.
yeah, no. That was my problems because like even like I see it even in like my video game play when I play Overwatch with friends. I have not played like a narrative based video game in probably years because I'm not interested in narrative. I love competition and like esports, video game sports. So like I'll play League of Legends or Overwatch repeatedly for like ever.
That's why I like fighting games. I'm like, how
Like
can
Smash
I
or
yes,
Street Fighter.
more so like Soul Calibur.
Oh, okay.
I'm a Soul Calibur fan. I still play Soul Calibur 5 on the PlayStation 3. I haven't even bought a PlayStation 4 yet.
Yeah.
For Soul Calibur 6, but like just the even also in Tekken
all the
and
micro
Street Fighter,
mechanics and
yeah,
stuff like
just trying
that.
to outsmart the other player.
Yeah.
It's fun as fuck.
No, I think you could like because I just started like YouTube started suggesting when I started diving into them. I'm seeing all these like Super Smash Bros. Like tournament ends.
I want to get better at Smash. Mediocre.
Okay, so I had a coworker.
Yeah.
And she has a Twitch channel. Shout out to
A
Black
what? A
Rose.
what?
She has a Twitch channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Was it Valerie? And her boyfriend. She's really in the Smash community. She's a commentator, like small time commentator and stuff. Yeah. So her boyfriend competes. And so we went over to watch like the new Broly movie and hang out and like play, and getting her parents' pool and stuff like that. Like a couple months ago, like a bunch of work friends brought the couples with us too, and got on to play Smash against her boyfriend. I couldn't breathe. Like just one of those where it's like, I used to kick everyone in my apartment, everyone in the neighborhood. Like there was like maybe one person that could kind of challenge me. You get a pro in there, like if I get 10% damage on you in 3 stock. It's a win.
Right.
Like,
I feel accomplished.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Now I watch them now and I'm starting to like sense the patterns and I want to watch like the heavies because like King Dedede was just my way of trolling the fuck out of my roommates because I'd let them go fight and then just come on over the hammer and just thunk them both. I'm like, KS, bitch.
What's KS?
Kill steal.
Kill steal because that person was supposed to kill them.
Oh yeah, they brought each other to 100. I've been sitting over there with like 15 just from dodging through. It's like, all right, cool.
Now I'll hit you.
Run through.
You're a waiter. I'm a poker. I like to so like in Soul Calibur, you have like your heavy hits to really do some damage.
Well, that's always one-on-one.
So.
Yeah.
And you got your combos and stuff. But I'm a poker. I like to hit you high, then hit you low, and then block, and then hit you low, and then block, and then low, and then high, and then do a combo, and then block, and then keep going low.
So in your choreography, did you actually like create any choreography? Like in your choreography in college or whatever for the combat choreography?
Yeah.
So did you create a choreography at some point, I imagine?
Fight choreography, absolutely.
Okay. Did it mimic your Soul Calibur tech? Or was it more like, I'm going to pick a character type and then just run rampant with it or run sly with it? Or...
Because it was like theater based, I had to like go based off of how the character was.
Yeah.
I will say that my rapier and dagger fight, the sounds that I made, my teacher... My teacher had to
shut you the fuck up.
He had to be like, I know I told you to breathe and make sound effects as if we're hurt and things like that, but you don't have to go with the sword.
You're pulling some Ian McGregor shit, man.
I had to break out of like making the sword sounds as well. You know? And also like the
stab.
I had to. It was a little too much. He was
Yeah.
like, make it more realistic. You wouldn't make a sound just from moving side to side. Maybe getting punched.
Yeah.
But if you're just like dodging something, you're not gonna go. So I got points taken off in that aspect.
See, that's funny
all
to
the
me
time.
because like, my mom gave it to me, and I don't know if it was
So
ever a good
animated.
idea, but like my mom told me like, yeah, you should be like yelling at people or something like that when you're playing soccer, and I would just like kind of do that or just be over
Like
vocal.
yelling words or just
Kind of like that in a way, but I kind of did that because I was a very physical player up until like high school,
Yeah.
middle school, like late middle school, because that like I peaked in terms of body frame in like middle school. Like I hit 120. I was already like 6 foot, 5'11", 5 whatever, and the only reason I'm like anywhere near 150 now is because I did like 2 spring-ish seasons with doing the weightlifting or whatnot and taking on like a lot of protein at the time. So either it's like regular, because I'm pretty ectomorphic body type, but I guess doing a little bit of that just sort of put it on, and then I've never really like dropped back down to 120. Thank God.
Good.
Because
you would look like a steak.
I am tiny.
You would be so tiny.
But yeah, I'd like run into people and like bully them, but I'd like be screaming or making grunts or something like that. Just like playing intimidation, but also just exertion.
Yeah.
Because I know there's some of that in martial arts where like you're just gonna make sounds to actually make sure you're breathing.
Right. But yeah, I did that in college. That's fun. Let me kill that bug.
Got bugs in this house. You got a trail of ants going up to like the top of the cover where all
That's
the
why you have
cereals
the
are.
ant killer in the kitchen.
Yeah, well, I'm about to
Excuse
just throw
me, by
away
the
all
way.
this. I'm about to throw away all the fucking cereal in there because I never eat it. It's all sugary shit, and I'm tired of looking at the line of sugar ants that are going up there. Like one of those where it's like, I'm gonna take care of you, but I'm really frustrated, so it's gonna take a second.
Right.
Just breathing that brandy out.
Mm-hmm. Wait, no. I was breathing it in.
Oh, okay. Is there anything left in here? It's like
Don't
very
give me that.
little, so little.
I'm feeling great right now.
Really happy with that brandy?
Mm-hmm.
That's good stuff.
This is. I'm done after this, and then I'll be drinking some water.
Stay healthy.
Absolutely.
Stay hydrated.
I'm actually
kids.
gonna drink some water now because I'm parched.
So do you have any? So you have a PS3 right now?
I do. I haven't hooked it up since August.
So you haven't really gamed much in a while.
I stopped gaming in the summer. I've been too busy, man.
Just rotating through shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, shows, work, teaching.
How's that
and
Lake Mary
games.
teaching going? Because you're teaching high schoolers and whatnot out there, right?
Yeah, I think I like that the most because in 2016, with my best friend Ty, we started our own like adult step team.
Yeah.
And we were doing that like here and there, but it was for more so like events in the Orlando dance community, which was great. But we didn't rehearse that much. It wasn't anything like super strict. It was real chill and low key. We got together, fucked it up, and then go and perform and raised them hell and like made noise.
Yeah.
It was an adult team. And now that I have my high school team, I see them at least twice a week, every week.
So you can get grinding on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They challenged me. Well, we won first place in one competition, and then we went to another competition, and I got to see like from the feedback like what to work on. So it's just a different kind of vibe. And I'm growing in the sense of like my ear for music, my ear for stepping, my eye for cleanliness. Like the other coach that I coach with is pushing me to do different things.
Yeah.
And, it's a different vibe, working with students because, they look up to you as a coach first and foremost, and then you want them to be great. So they have to also, have their grades in school. They can't act bad. It's like I'm being a mentor, but also kind of doing what I love, which is dance and step. I've been stepping since middle school.
So what's the difference between dance and step?
There's really no difference. Step is a subcategory of dance.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more aggressive, and I would say more like passionate, and it's a different way to express yourself.
Yeah.
Than to just dance to the music and the beats. You're making the music and the beats that you're dancing to.
Okay.
So I just think it takes a lot more. It takes a lot more passion, and you feel it more because you're making the music and the beats.
Yeah, because you're so in the stepping, you're actually like you're doing what was that? Instead of hitting on trash cans, you're just using your body and like actually like tap dancing, but with the sneakers on.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I will say I watch a lot of tap videos and drumline stuff to get inspirations to how to make or convert sounds onto my body.
Does Nick Cannon inspire you in the drumline?
I would say no.
You ever watch that movie and go like, that's full of shit?
Actually, dude, I didn't know that he did not drum for real until I got older. He faked that whole movie.
Oh yeah.
He tricked the crap out of me, I believe.
Mhm.
And then I go back and he's not even touching the drum. I was like, how did I miss that?
You were
I
retarded
was
kid.
befuddled. So befuddled.
I think it's where you go back and watch some live action stuff that you loved as a kid, and you realize, oh wow, I missed everything.
Dude, I rewatched this one movie that I was like, swore up and down was like the greatest movie ever. And then I saw the graphics and I was like, it's hard to get through these graphics first off.
Okay, so there was a show that I loved that like no one else, like, because I was a 91 baby, and all of my friends were either like one up or one down from me, and I was a Cartoon Network whore. Like, I didn't get to Nickelodeon and Disney till like practically late elementary school. So like Channel 41 was my shit, and then once they grouped into like 36, 35, and 34, like that was boss move, but it had me uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie.
35, and 36.
Like I was, yeah. Otherwise, there's like 41, 35, and 28. I think was the original, and then they grouped them. So like one show that was on Cartoon Network, like even before like Toonami was there, was I want to say it was Reboot. It was where they had these characters in a computer, in a personal computer, and it was like these humanoid characters that were taking care of like viruses and stuff. They had villains like Megabyte and like this other and shit like that. But it was like really complex narrative after a certain point. Once they got like to this future, this like timeline jump, and the kid's grown up, and the main leader's been missing forever or something like that. Like it was really cool. And I met like one person in like 20 years who actually was like, I remember that show. It was amazing. I was like, yeah, I love that show. Found it like on download or something like that, or on Toonami Aftermath. Started watching and went, oh god, the mouths don't even work that good with the audio. And I was like, oh my god, I love this show, but it looks like absolute shit.
Can't get through that.
Oh man, that's what it was. The Great Mouse Detective. You remember that? Remember that Disney movie? Great Mouse.
The Great Mouse
Yeah,
Detective.
I rewatched that and realized, wow, there was some really dark
don't.
shit that I watched where like a cat eats a mouse, like a.
That's normal shit to me.
I think there's a certain weird thing where previous generations cared less about kids seeing traumatizing shit, as it would currently be called.
Yeah.
They're like, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, what if there's sex? Like, one, sex as a child, like that word was ambiguous as fuck till about 13 years old.
Sex.
No matter when you're older.
It was just a word. Sex.
Yeah, it was just a word. And there was this ambiguous, obvious, oh, they're about to like make love, whatever that means. Like they're doing kissing and like undressing, I guess that's a thing. But there's never like a full breakdown of like what actual, like there's no, you don't see genitals, you don't see boobs anymore, and so you don't get to see the pounding. You just get to see, oh, they're making out, and I guess they're gonna get naked, fall asleep, and wake up together, like circle of life.
What's that? You got chips there?
Yeah. We were on that Star Wars podcast. Jose wanted to bring food on. I'm like, why are you gonna bring on crinkly bags and popcorn to this
do
podcast?
That. Anyways,
so yeah.
I feel good, y'all.
You a lightweight, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
That's
I
good.
know my limit too.
Oh, that's good. No, same. I'm a lightweight and she's a paperweight. Like
paperweight.
Wait, like she smells it. She's good for a week.
Boom, a week.
Yeah, like what was it when I was doing ballroom dancing? I brought her along one time, and we took like we were being told by my teacher that y'all need to like loosen up a bit because we're both really like she has ballet background and I'm a hard ass, and when I get serious on shit, and so she's like y'all need to like be a little loose about it or something like that. And she was like in town, so we each took a shot of Zachariah Harris. So like the shitty Jack Daniels, but she like took like a half shot, then like 5 water shots afterwards, and she was still a goofy goober for like
I'm a goofy goober.
2 of 3 hours of the class basically.
We're all goofy goobers.
Was that the same day that we actually like Viennese waltz around the? Yeah, we Viennese waltz around the ballroom for like 2 hours straight.
This is stupid, Melanie. He is riding up this mountain too easy. He on a pedaling bike. He can't do that.
The future is grim, but fantastic.
Y'all can't see what I'm seeing right now. He going up this hill like this. Like it ain't
Do you
nothing.
know- do
and
you
the
know the
hill
game-
is this steep.
Do you know the game Skyrim?
I love that game.
Yeah, you can ride a horse up the mountain. You can get
True.
that bullshit out of here.
You can also ride a dragon if you tame it and beat it.
Tame it and beat it.
Well, beat it and tame it.
Okay, you beat it in combat and then you tame it. I was like,
you know what I meant? Dang.
I was like, you're getting into some abusive areas, and I'm not gonna say I don't condone it.
Well, what's wrong with beating a dragon? That crap is huge. You gotta have it. How else you gonna? It's not like telling a dog no. You gotta be like no and slice its ankle with a sword for it to listen.
It's so rude.
He's
You seen The Witcher?
only gonna bleed a little. The
Have
Witcher.
you seen The Witcher?
The Witcher.
Speaking of dragons and like fantasy, have you seen The Witcher? Like the new
Witcher. No, I don't know what that
new show.
is. Is it on Netflix?
Yeah,
I'll check it out.
8 episodes. It's like
Only
over an
8
hour.
episodes.
It's like how long is like 45 minutes an episode?
About.
Yeah, it's like 45 an episode. It's got Henry Cavill.
Henry's in that.
Yeah,
I like him. He's okay. He's cool. I hope he doesn't look or act the same as he did in Superman.
No, he's good. He does good
Okay.
for this.
Okay.
Okay, like I've heard that enough, and that's where I want to direct people to some better Henry Cavill shit. And I'm gonna direct you to The Man from U.N.C.L.E., where he's an American spy and he's working with Armie Hammer, who's a Russian spy. And that is a great fucking movie. That got outshone by some shit back then. Hatchet. Made it myself.
You made this?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Do y'all see this?
They see it every episode, actually.
How
Like, I need to make more weapons and then just rotate the cast, basically.
sharp is it?
Enough.
Ow!
You retarded.
Don't say that. I'm not retarded. I'm very smart at it.
You are checking the sharpness of a blade wrong. Like, I'm about
Well,
to cut
how do
my-
I check? Let me see your arm.
You could-
Let me see your wrist.
No, you're not going to
actually.
shave me on.
Let me see your wrist. Give me them. I'm kidding. I don't want to check the sharpness. No, you get your own knife. Oh wait, this is your own knife.
I made my knife, fucker. Get out of here.
Don't. Mine is bigger. Don't point that at me.
It's not the size of the knife. It's how you...
What are you about to do? Here.
We're not going to do anything. Fuck, I'm not going to start a knife fight on this.
Bro,
Who brings a hatchet to a knife fight?
me. I'm actually bringing my fist to a knife fight. I would die.
You'll
Or
get
just
hurt. I don't think you'll
hang on.
die. I don't know. This
hit
is-
a vital vein. You know?
Obviously.
I think I'll
but-
still win the fight if you brought a knife.
You ever been in a
kidding.
fight?
Too many.
Really?
Only when I was younger, you know.
Oh,
Like, I
okay.
grew out of that, of course.
I was never in a fight. I've never been in a fight, actually.
Ever, Aaron?
I was in like some bullshit fight. Like
What
in
if I
8th grade.
slapped you right now, bro? Would you fight me back, or you just
I'd
gonna take
laugh
that?
in your face.
You're gonna laugh at me?
Just because you know choreography doesn't mean you know how to fight.
That's true, but in this case,
In this case, you're
I
the
can do
exception.
both.
You're
but
the
I mean, like, I know
did you have any training or anything like that for combat?
like actual fighting.
Yes.
You sparred
you-
with
are-
my big brothers
are-
and being bullied my
okay,
whole life.
Well, okay, so I did a lot of play fighting with like the kids in the neighborhood, but we never threw punches. It was all like sort of grappling, actually.
Dude, no, the play fighting in my hometown is like you slap box to see whose hands are faster, or
Yeah.
you wrestle to see who's gonna get the better of each other.
Yeah.
Or there were also some body blows too sometimes. And when you're playing with your big brothers and sisters, they're hitting you.
Oh no. I've gotten to
They're
see
hitting you.
like what is it? My cousin's kids. What is it, like 16? The oldest is 16 and the youngest is like in 5th grade. And I just got to sit there in the street and watch them just like just go
Dude.
at each other, just verbally or slightly physically. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow. Because I'm an only child. And I've heard that so many times where only children see how siblings interact. You see how their children are like, oh my god, is this normal? And like the one
Right.
that has like 5 siblings,
Yeah.
like the mother or the
Hitting
dad. And
is
it's like,
normal.
it was like, they'll be fine.
Right. I
Some-
was just watching my little cousins fight and wrestle the other day, slapping the crap out of each other. I mean,
Yeah.
they're only 7 and 5, but still,
Yeah,
those
yeah, no,
probably
that's-
hurt each other.
Yeah. No. It was fun watching. I was like, oh, this is normal. So I just sat on the gutter while they're in the streets, just like bitching about what we're gonna play
Right.
next.
Yeah.
The 5th grader like sits down next to me. I was like, you brought popcorn? No. All right. Let's go.
And I mean, I wrestle and play fight my nephew all the time. And sometimes, I'm not going to lie, that little boy got some heavy hands. And he gets
Mhm.
the better of me. And I'm like, ouch, that actually hurts. And I feel bad, but you know, I got to hit him a little bit harder so he knows that
Right.
he's hitting me too hard.
Oh yeah, no.
Like, if we're play fighting,
Do
like,
you-
we should be able to play without
Do you
you
know
hurting
the
me.
actual purpose or one of the big purposes of the male role model in raising a child?
No.
It's play.
Is it?
learning play, learning fair play, and you learn empathy from your father.
Wow, my dad definitely taught that to
Because
me.
he played with you a lot
He
of
did
play fighting.
a lot of play.
Yeah.
Like
And
a lot of wrestling.
You learned where not to hit, how hard to hit, shit like that.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
If I hit my dad too hard, he'd be like,
And he'd let you win sometimes, right?
he did.
Mm-hmm. This is what mice do and rats do, actually.
They play with their kids?
Yeah. Well, no, they'll play with each other.
Oh, that's gay. No, just not.
This bottle's empty, so I can use it as a weapon.
Don't hit me. I got a hatchet.
No, yeah. So like, because I've been trying.
Oh, that's crazy.
Well, I ran down the area of like recognizing some good social justice warriors points.
Yeah.
But going like realizing like I kind of hate guys or kind of hate men. Like I didn't see any like. We're not making blood oaths right now. We're not blood brothers yet.
Glad you caught that. Sorry.
Get this mountain man bullshit out of here. Last of the Mohicans.
I was distracted. Come on, get back.
Stop being distracted by sharp objects. Shave your face.
At least I didn't. I got a haircut today. It looks great.
No, you clean. You clean. I'm not gonna lie. You clean. I was like, I appreciate you looking.
Distracted.
Yeah, you look good on this podcast. I need to figure this out. Like I wanna. You seen?
I thought that was just your look. You know?
It's one of them. Like I'll have my boy my barber give me like a 6.
You ain't know what to call him just now? My boy, my man.
His name's Mike. He's that gentleman barbershop off University and Dean. Holla at your boy.
Hey,
He's on.
shout out.
Nah, he's cool. He's good shit. He gave me my first like good fade cut, and I literally
fade?
Yeah, I'll do like a 6'5", 4'3", and the first time I got a cut from him to like do that, I was like, fine, sure, whatever. I walked into work at my retail store, and I got compliments all day. And I swore there's a giant heist being played on me because I'd never done shit
boy,
like that.
You know what a fade can do to you? You know what a haircut? Literally, I was talking to my barber today, and he was like, I love giving people haircuts because it just makes them feel good. Whether you're getting it for an interview, you're getting ready to go for what you told me you was doing today, a photo shoot, and I was like, yeah. He was like, you don't feel good after this. I was like, I know I am.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like
because my boy bringing that blade and just do that light.
Yes, sir.
So my job advises not to have facial hair because it's like pest control. So you don't want to have chemicals like in your beard and go home with that.
Right.
Which is fair. So I'm like, whatever. Like, and they're not hard about it. And my supervisor isn't there Thursday and Friday. So like I'll shave like Sunday night and then we'll make out because she loves a smooth face.
The head nod.
Head nod.
She's playing the video.
But like right before when I was about to get an interview or something like that, I went over to my barber and he did like that blade cut.
Mm-hmm.
And her head exploded. Like my girl's head exploded on that shit.
Who is this walking through the door?
Not even the walking through, not even the visual, just how physically smooth it was on the face. Because like all I do here is just an electric shave. Like I've done blade with like just even a 2-blade, like the cheap ass stuff from Target. Mm-hmm. But I'd rather not. When I could just like electric shave, and I've just done that for so long that I could just like flip. My right arm just like goes at it with like really good finesse. But yeah. No, what I want to do with my hair next, because I've got another barber who she's actually had a lot of good training. She's really she'll be on the live stream tomorrow with Pseudo Ren. Where's she at now? Because she was over here in Oviedo. But I know I can go to her because I can go to Mike for like the fade cuts and stuff like that. Stuff that like, for lack of a better term, it's more hood in terms of style. But I know I've got the kind of hair that I could probably do Steve the Hair Harrington from Stranger Things.
You definitely could.
I just need to figure out like the volume game and shit like that.
Come on, volume game.
Mm-hmm. Get some spray in there and shit like that.
Yes, sir.
Just walking. Why am I like this?
I don't know.
And then I get a bunch of kids to be mom for.
Oh my god! Don't do that.
You got any good series you're checking out? Like, do you love Stranger Things? Or are you okay with Stranger Things?
I haven't even seen season 3. I just haven't had time. I like it enough to. I'm gonna check.
It's on
it
the
out
list,
again. But I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think I love. I take that back. I do love a show, you know.
Yeah.
Some pretty good shows out there, but I don't get like hypey about it.
Yeah.
You should go check this out. It's just more like, damn, that was a good show.
Oh no.
And then I wait to hear about the hype, and then I just go watch.
Well,
it.
so I'll do a few different things, but basically, I like having a personal relationship with my content that I take.
Oh, okay.
So like, because I'm kind of hipster by nature without being a pretentious cunt, or at least I've been working on getting rid of my pretentious elements since
Yeah.
high school.
Okay.
So, like, I was really into Harry Potter,
Ooh,
and then the fandom got
I
crazy,
love Harry Potter.
and then I left.
Okay.
Like, I still love Harry Potter. I just don't identify as a Potter fan. Like, I don't do all the quizzes and shit like that, because right around when Universal started up is when the fandom got crazy, and I went, no.
Yeah, I don't feed into any of the fandoms or the like obsessions or anything. Like, I love Harry Potter.
Yeah,
I love.
because I read the first 4 books back when they were out, like in my elementary school
Right,
days.
that's
We
what
read
I'm
all.
saying.
I read all 4 of them, like
I love
twice,
Percy
3
Jackson
times.
too. Like, that series is
Okay.
great, you know.
Okay,
But like that fandom stuff and that obsession, and like,
stands
oh
and
my
stuff like
god,
that.
dude, no, I might buy some
Paraphernalia.
Did I say that right?
Paraphernalia.
Yeah, I might buy
You
some.
almost
Like,
said. You said half of it.
but I think paraphernalia deals with.
It's a merchandise.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
I might buy some like Harry Potter paraphernalia or like some like
Mm-hmm.
whatever the case
Merch
may be,
or-
some merch or
Do
whatever.
you have a wand? Have you gone to Diagon?
I never even got a one. I got like a diary to write.
Okay.
I'm more so of a writer and like
Yeah,
put my
yeah,
thoughts
yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do with that one besides having it look pretty and cool?
Well, it interacts with a lot of the environment actually in the theme park, from what I hear. Because I've actually, funny fact,
Say what you now?
fun fact.
Really?
Before I expound on that, I've actually never been to any of the Harry Potter theme parks here in town,
I'm talking.
and I kind of don't care. I actually like holding on to that just to like make people just like twitch.
Well,
But yeah, from what I hear, that $80 wand
yeah, I'm not paying that much.
actually lets you interact with certain areas around the theme
Well,
park.
that's cool, but no thanks. Nope.
I got better at $80 because you can get this bottle for 20.
Right, and then you can get some pair of
I have no idea how much
shoes.
that bottle was. That was a gift. The brandy.
Look at this dude riding his bike. It's really pissing me off how easy it is for him.
Are you encumbered too? Yeah, she's
Like, stop riding this bike. Like, y'all, look, he stopped riding the bike and okay, no, that was realistic. You can keep going. Never mind. I'm done talking smack.
I gotta love how
Except when he starts pedaling, he like covers so much. You can't pedal once and go that far.
you just can't get over this game, can you?
I can't.
You just
Especially
keep referring on. This is why we need to get a screen protector on your screen so you stop distracting guests.
I can be distracted. She's not distracting me. This is all a part of the podcast.
They can't even see what she's doing.
Exactly, which is why I'm over here describing it so they can know that it's some bullcrap. It's not distracting. It's funny. Come on now,
Oh
Aaron.
god
Don't
damn
do
it,
me
Arius.
like that. Don't do podcast. Don't let him put a. I can't even stop.
So you do
Right.
dance, step, theater.
Yes,
Have you ever actually considered? Well, have you done improv then?
I have done some improv. I used to be on an improv troupe in college called Quadruple Stuffed Oreos. Shout out. What's up, QSO? And they're still pretty much alive.
Still rolling? Nice.
Yeah. Wanna know how they started? Wanna know why it's called Quadruple Stuffed Oreos?
Because you were eating Oreos, someone ate the cookies and you kept the cream?
Of course not.
Or is it 2 black guys and 3 white boys?
Or 4 actually.
4 white boys?
Yeah.
Quite.
Not me. I wasn't a part of the original cast.
So,
but
okay.
definitely, yeah.
So it was original cast, but then they got their name once they got the 2 token black guys in there?
No, the 2 token black guys were a part of the original group. You poop head.
Oh, so you're the extra cookie on the side?
No,
You're
was
the
just
token-
an
you're the-
extension of when the group kept going after it was started. And like,
You're just the token cookie.
no, I'm not. Unless you want me.
Was the
to.
troop always like a solid four? Or,
No, it
or
started
solid
off with like
six-stack?
it started off with 6 people, and then after that year it grew. I know the year that I was on, it was about 15 of us,
Nice.
or 14 of us.
So that's like 2-3 troops in a way. Then.
Yeah, it was only one, but I mean,
Yeah, but like
it was so many of us, and that gave us the versatility to be able to like put on a big show at the end of the semester. We were
Yeah.
able to go and have many shows throughout, and all
Yeah.
of us didn't have to be there. It could be
Yeah.
like just 5.
Yeah,
of
you
us,
just need 5
or
people
10
there.
people, you
Yeah.
know, and we could play a game and do some stuff.
Yeah.
But at the end of the year showcase, it was all 15 of us, and
You
it's
just
always
rotate
great.
through and stuff.
Yeah, and
So you
it's
do
an
short
hour-long
form or
show.
long form?
Both.
Both.
The way we did it, excuse me, especially for our showcase form, we would like put a whole bunch of skits in a hat. Skits and improv games where it could be a short form skit or a long form skit or a short form game or a long form game.
Yeah.
And we would play with the audience or show the audience videos. Like, we put our show together really well done. We would put together some like I said, videos and then the skits and the games. It was really
Yeah.
well thought out.
So
much fun.
there's a technical term because I've actually read the books on this as well. Once we got through like the first 2 levels, you ever heard of the Herald? Did they ever break down that concept to you?
I don't think so.
Okay, so it's a classic thing in the improv community, like going back to at least Mike Myers days and everything, and Chris Farley. The Herald is actually a peak form of improv where the group has actually entered sort of a hive mind state where they're actually somehow able to exchange. They actually end up trading thoughts at a subconscious, unconscious level.
Yeah.
So like the performance just reaches like next levels of like callbacks and references and just reading people. Like, you know, the simple game where it's like 2 people just arm in arm and they're saying the exact same thing together in a full sentence, as opposed to like the other that's like where it's like one word, one word, one word, one word, one word.
Yeah.
A sentence builder. So like they've like the peak Herald is like the whole big showcase, but they end up just sinking in so hard that like the callback game is just on point. So I'm curious like how well like the technical knowledge is being passed around, but that's really cool to like do an improv trip and do all that, because like I think we're really running on getting to Austin and then like trying to dive into keep doing this probably in an online format or whatever locals I can grab onto, but also go out to like find improv troops to like work at or do stand up at like local venues.
Nice.
And stuff like that. Have you ever actually tried stand up or anything like that?
No. People said I should have. When I say people, only like 2 people thought I should have like tried.
Yeah.
But I'm not that interested in doing like stand up or anything.
Just
like
standing there and talking, basically, rehearse stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I were to do like some stand up, it's more like I go to open mics.
Yeah.
And I might sing or do some poetry if I feel like I want to get something off my mind or chest.
Yeah. More just standard open mic than like.
Yeah. I'm not so much in. And sometimes I think there was one time, and I was super young, and this was at UCF. I went to an open mic to tell a joke. It was literally just to tell that joke.
One joke.
One joke. And I thought it was the funniest thing ever. And I left. That was my open mic thing, you know? Want me to tell you the joke?
Oh, who is that? There's a poetry group.
Tell me the joke.
What's the joke? Actually, yeah, let's run
The
that.
joke. There are 2 ovens. Crap.
Okay.
There were 2 muffins in an oven, right?
Uh-huh.
And the first muffin was like, it's hot in here, man, right? So he looks at the other muffin, and the other muffin goes, a talking muffin!
I know that joke.
Cause like
I'm getting Emperor's New Groove flashbacks right now.
Dude,
Demon Llama, where?
I want to be Emperor. If they ever made a live action movie, like I want to be Cusco.
So bad.
You
could be that big of an asshole. You could be David Spade level asshole.
Because I can't be an asshole, I want to be able to see if I can play one.
See, we need to like just.
I think that was a lie. I can playfully be an asshole, but Cusco was actually an asshole. But I want to see if I can like play one and like have other people believe it.
Yeah, like actually bring it to life.
Yeah.
I know I could play an asshole. Like,
but you are.
I know. Like,
I'm kidding.
You could be kidding, but like, truth's out there. Truth's out there. Are you scratching your nose on my mic?
No. It was like the spot between my nose and
You
lip.
were scratching your nose on my mic.
No, it was the spot between my nose and lip. It was like here.
I'm literally gonna like find that exact moment.
Please don't do that.
Blast the decibels. Like, everyone listen to Arius scratching his nose.
No! Yo, don't let him do this to me, y'all.
He's picking his nose on my microphone.
That's
right
not what.
now.
Okay, this is my nose and this is my lip, and it was the spot in between.
There's
Okay, it was like my
boogers.
mustache, you know.
There's boogers all over the yellow mic now. Because Arius is
No boogers on here.
He's a dirty little shit.
I might not. Sometimes. No, I'm just kidding.
So okay, then all right, let's have some fun with that actually, because you want to play Cusco.
Yes.
Let's go real life people.
Okay.
If not, well, you could do actually. Fuck it. Who would you want to have playing the other roles? They can either be like the classics, because like I love can't remember his name. The guy that voice acted Krunk.
Yes, I would.
That is one of my favorite voice actors.
Okay.
I love that man to death. I can't remember his name to save my life right now. I can't remember anything whenever I'm on the camera. Like my brain goes absolutely dead.
Well, if I were to be able to cast
and you can do
Emperor's New Groove,
and you can do Cusco,
and I'm Cusco,
yeah,
I'm gonna say Dwayne The Rock Johnson will be Krunk.
That's actually pretty fucking solid.
I want.
He's never played a dumb character.
Right.
He's never played.
He's just been bronze and like.
Yeah, he's
he's
the
the leader.
Superhero or
Right.
a Tooth Fairy.
Right. Now
Yeah.
he was not dumb, but he was kind of like
We
cute and weak and kind of like
yeah.
he's just a big tooth fairy guy.
Yeah.
Yzma, I think Meryl Streep should be Yzma. I think
that's a high dollar.
seeing
part.
her from being in Into the Woods as the witch, I think
Mhm.
she could do a really good a really good Yzma.
Yeah.
Poncho. Who could be Poncho?
Because it's Goodman that did it before, right?
Goodman.
I think so.
I think. What's that
Yeah.
guy who played King of the Hill? James Williams. William James.
I was like, who
Not-
played King of the Hill?
Not King of the Hill. Kings and Queens.
Oh yeah, Kevin James.
Kevin James. I want him to be Poncho.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could play that.
His wife.
He plays pathetic pretty well.
Right.
You ever watch King of Queens?
Have you ever seen him in Mall Cop or Cop Mall?
No, but I imagine it's the same character.
He was on like a Segway, and the way he falls and it runs away from him, like it's just he'll be a great Poncho, you know.
You know, he's actually like a really good martial artist.
Is he?
Yeah, like he's fit as fuck apparently. From what I hear.
That is a great fun fact.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kevin James.
Please.
That wife, she was a little
Poncho's wife?
unmemorable to be honest, but I think
she had some good character pieces, but not a big narrative piece.
Right, that's
like
what I'm
the
saying.
children are more memorable than the wife was.
I would agree.
But Poncho had a good wife.
He did.
Like, he didn't have no dead fish.
He didn't.
She's the type that's like, you will be dead. Let me take care of this.
Kevin James, who would his wife be? I want like a strong like.
You just literally have the King of Queens combo back.
What was the wife name?
I don't know, but she's
you know what?
She's the Escape Scientology. And
let's keep that combo. I like that package. Let's just
they're
bring
back.
them as a package deal. Yeah. Now the kids, I want the young version of Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Oh, you want to just like you want to shrink Zach and Cody?
Not shrink them. I want the young versions of them. I want to bring them back in time and bring them back.
No.
What?
How about you just have?
It was a boy and a girl.
How about you just have? It was. How about you just have Drake and Josh?
No.
Josh can play a girl.
Oh.
All right, so boy and girl. You got like the Stranger Things kids on deck.
No. Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Keep going backwards on this shit.
Yeah, that was Taylor Lautner and that girl. Yeah.
We have stacks of like childhood actors.
Okay.
Have you seen fuck, what was that Tarantino?
I've never seen that movie. Fuck. What?
Tarantino, shut the fuck.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That new movie that's
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, Julia Butters
Butters.
That's her last name. If I'm checking that right.
And you're gonna pass the resume on a Bonquisha? Come on now. Her last name is Butters.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm just messing with you.
Bonquisha can go fuck herself.
No, she cannot. She can get this job is what she could do.
Okay, there's that. Where is
the little boy from Raising Dion? He can be the first boy.
Julia Butters.
Yeah. And the little girl from
this queen.
Oh, she's so pretty.
I know, and she had a great performance in one.
Okay, you know what? Whoever this Julia Butters girl is, I like it, and she can definitely be one of the kids.
You need to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and you'll like. First off, Leo does great. Is it Bruce Willis? No, not Bruce Willis. Who's that fucking? Angelina Jolie's ex-husband.
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt does great. And Julia's a surprise hit for like a young actress.
Also, that little girl who played in Logan with Wolverine.
Yeah.
I would say
that was great actually. You could talk this whole time, right?
She's like in the accent. That little girl was phenomenal.
That was a great movie.
That screaming, that's how I sound every time I move.
That's why no one takes your sword fighting seriously.
My last and certified rec pass was actually really great, and I did calm down on my grunts.
He's quieter in bed now, people.
Not true. Anyways, in continuation.
Okay. So I just remembered I'm remembering the part where the gay community fascinates me. Remember that whole like tangent?
I do remember that.
Okay.
Let's get
so we're on the What If is the recent version of it with Daniel Radcliffe, where guys and girls can't be friends with each other because they could always lead to sex and together, shit like that.
Untrue.
And I sat there and went, I'm sorry, but I can't see as that being true when there's literally like the post from Tumblr where it's like the hetero says, I never see gay people, like there's just not that many actually out there, and then the homo's reaction is like I haven't seen a straight person in 2 weeks. Like and there's just communities or just these groups
It's so
of
true though.
well, like you just end up getting like your group of friends that are just from the alphabet community, and you just hang out with each other all the damn time. And I was like, well, how the fuck do a bunch of people that are quote unquote attracted to each other hang out all the time in platonic? Like, I'm gonna run the assumption you guys aren't like a group of 5 like happen to be gay guy friends or bi or whatever, and you're not like, yeah, let's go hang out, have beers or whatever, and then we're gonna fuck each other every night. Like,
My 2
pretty-
best gay friends, like all we do is go out, sing karaoke, and if we do hang out, we're gonna watch movies and play board games.
and then you
talk
go home.
crap, and then we go home. We don't fuck each other, y'all. What the heck?
Yeah, like
That's crazy.
it's like I want man's butt, it's not theirs. Like,
Right? Like, dude, we can have friends. Like straight people can have friends.
well,
too,
that's
right?
that's what I got so like kind
It's
of
crazy.
uppity about back like in middle school and high school was just like because the narrative that was being drawn at me at the time was that the girl always had to control the situation and like shit like that, and guys just like couldn't. And I was like, that's stupid. Like I hated the idea of like, so what? I have like no say over like what my body like informs me to do or shit like that.
Yeah.
So like, and every guy is sort of always playing, at least every straight guy in terms of like I guess the toxic parts of the straight culture is like, if they're hot, you gotta try to land it. I'm just like, I'm pretty okay having like a really long address book
Yeah.
of just fantastically attractive, intelligent, powerful women, and never fucking any of them. So I'm like, hey, look at this long list of like resources and people and friends, and
Right.
I can invite them to like my future wedding.
Exactly.
As
I don't know
opposed
why
to, like-
people think that to be friends or like you just can't be friends without sexual like that's just weird to me.
Well, that's where I think everything's
That's
been.
stupid.
So like, I don't want to go down to politics, but everything's been politicized and sexualized to the point that like basic conversation,
Dude.
is like just like alien. Like,
That's why I just live my life and I don't be feeding into none of that
Nah.
madness, bro.
no.
It's too much. I haven't
Well, I
watched the
love-
news in like 3 years.
Oh yeah.
I haven't
No,
kept up with politics since Trump got into office. Not like saying it's because of him.
It's just
I don't have the energy to put into it to even understand it, and that's bad. And I'm kind of
well. Here's a play.
embarrassed to
well, here's
admit that on
here's a-
camera right now.
well, here's
now
a-
that
here's
I just
a-
noticed that.
Well, here's
you
a
know?
play you can sort of run at that I got from someone I met at Toastmasters, because she sort of had it's all kind of bullshit. So what she does is that every 4 years she just plays an update and looks at all the standings or all the things of every single candidate. She just does, like a month. Spends a month to figure it all out and then votes and then goes back to like being off the radar and doing her job and doing what she loves.
Yeah.
It's like I stay informed when it fucking matters.
Right. I
As
was
opposed to
literally
just-
gonna probably do the same
Yeah.
thing. Like when someone else is about to run
Like-
for president, I'm gonna see who's in there and then what we got to deal with
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
up for the next.
Like pay attention to like
Whatever
your local
year.
pay attention to your local shit a bit or something like that. But
Yeah.
it's like one of those, just do heroin every 4 years and you should be fine.
Huh? That that caught me off guard. I was like, I was listening, and then
Scroll? Excuse you?
whoa.
Where did that go? Where did that come from? Okay. So what do you actually then watch for entertainment and stuff like that? Do you just like stay steady on your
I don't watch much TV.
mm-hmm.
When I do watch TV, it's usually something. Before I get into this, my top 3 infatuations are cats, Amy Winehouse, and horror. So anytime I'm watching
You
something,
watch Don't Fuck with Cats.
I did.
Fuck
I did.
I
I love
hear-
documentaries too, yo.
Is that like a doc? Is that
It is a documentary.
Is it a
based
horror
off of-
documentary or
it's a documentary based off
So
of a
you-
serial
so-
killer.
it's a serial killer?
He's never admit to actually murdering multiple people.
Only one.
Yeah.
But he's a well planned serial killer that just only got
Uh,
one execution.
It was well planned until he got caught. Not really, though.
He filmed himself killing someone.
Yeah,
That's what YouTube's for.
literally, he put it on YouTube, yeah,
That's fair.
Yeah.
and he got caught.
He did 2 videos of killing cats, and this group of people
3.
basically said, was it 3?
Yeah.
Oh, the snake. I forgot about
Yeah,
the
yeah,
snake.
yep.
He did 3 videos of killing cats, and then he upgraded to a person. And the police,
How about you come on over and talk into a mic if you're gonna get at this a bit? Like that.
Dude was in Canada,
Uh huh.
and he killed Three people.
Some kitties.
Some kittens. 3 kittens. Actually, there was more than 3 kittens, but he killed kittens.
Okay.
And so there was this group of people that said, this is fucking sick. We need to find this guy. He's
on
psycho.
the internet. Like, the people on the internet were trying to hunt this guy down.
So they hunt him down and they figure out who he is, and they send this information to the Toronto police. Toronto?
Yeah, it was them first.
Okay. So they send it to the Toronto police, and they don't fucking do shit with it.
They couldn't find it. Then he moves, and then they send it to Quebec police, and then they decide to do something about it.
Because there was a video of him murdering a guy.
And they were like, this is real. It has to be.
Yeah.
And they were like, they knew it was going to happen.
Because he said, because on his last video with the snake, he said, I'm upgrading now to a human instead.
And they were like, he has to be serious. And he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they found the video days later, and then he decided to run away to Paris, and he was preparing to basically drop his identity completely. But how he got caught was this dumbass
Spoiler
decided to
alert.
go into an internet cafe and look himself up. And because the guy that ran the internet cafe recognized him,
he called the cops.
He called the cops.
And not only that, this dude did all of this based off of like a movie. Like he was reenacting almost.
He was very obsessed with serial killers. So like all of his like fake profiles and everything else were based off of like the victims of serial killers.
Yeah, and his actions and the reason he went to Paris. It was all based off of that movie. It was crazy.
That's the reason why it's like that's why they call
serial
him a
killers.
Serial killer. Because if he hadn't been caught, he probably would have done it again and
could've.
again.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he could have, but like the fact that he was able to get away with one, he shouldn't have, because the people on the internet caught him with the kitties.
The craziest thing was the fact that he what was it? It was I'm close to both mics.
Badoop, 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 badoop.
You forgot?
What were you saying before?
The craziest thing. Oh, he's a serial killer. They knew he was gonna do it anyway, and he was basing it off that movie. And the man was crazy.
Basically, so it's Don't Fuck with Cats.
Don't fuck with cats.
Yeah, it's a documentary. I think you guys should check it out if you can like.
So
and they don't show the videos.
No, that's her shit. I don't care.
Oh,
I am not.
That's the reason why I jumped in.
I have because she knows she's watched. I will not because I'm not interested.
Oh,
Did
you see the Ted Bundy with Zac Efron?
Oh no, I haven't. I heard it was pretty good though.
Holy fucking shit, it was fantastic. They play the video of the real Ted Bundy at the very end. Perfection.
Come on, Zac Efron.
Perfection.
I'm excited. I still want to see that one too, though.
You need to. It's
I will.
fantastic.
I will check it out.
I'm gonna start food.
Get in the kitchen.
That's not nice.
She better get that pressure cooker on.
Oh, she better come back and defend yourself, Melanie.
I was about to be like, you can either grab a seat and I turn that mic on, or you go cook and we don't starve.
That's not what he said, though, y'all.
I know exactly what this mofo
Look at
said.
them. Oh, she called them a mofo. What was that, Aaron?
She's gonna choke me with her boobs.
Yes. We love being boob choked. When I say we, I don't mean me, because I don't get boob choked by Melanie.
I was about to say, I don't think you really like boobs all that much.
I do like boobs.
Drooled on her.
First off, I'm queer. I should just throw that out there.
Gay as fuck.
I like gay as fuck, straight as fuck, whatever as fuck, really.
You just flip the coin, like, I'll go for that today.
No, that's not how it works.
It's a double-sided head.
No, it's not. It's
No.
I like this person.
Thank you, Melanie.
So it's a flip the coin on every person you come across. Like, will I? No. Nope. Doesn't
I
hit.
usually kind of see people as friends first.
Mm-hmm.
People kind of like me before I can
So
like
you friend zone, and then you figure out who you're gonna like move over into the fuck zone.
I like. Whoa! When you put it like that just sounds horrible. I'm not friend zoning anyone. Why is that even a thing? I'm uncomfortable now. That's not. I can't even explain or articulate my
I'm
thoughts.
fucking with you. No, I saw this post where this guy got
He
dad.
got me, y'all.
I saw this post where this guy got dad zoned actually.
How do you get dad zone?
So like this girl is putting out this post, like a 3-picture post or whatnot, where it's her, this young man, and this kid. Okay, it's this long post where he's like, it's like the father is not the one that birthed him; it's the one that raised him. I'm so happy to be that this guy is helping me raise my son. We've never had a thing or anything like that. We're just 2 best friends.
No way. That's not a thing.
Yeah, it's a post. Yeah, it's a post.
Wait, hold up.
This
that guy does not know that he's not getting none?
He's not getting none. There's no relationship pieces. They're just 2 friends raising a kid together.
I ain't helping that girl raise that kid.
That is some dad zone shit.
I wish I would get dad zone. I'm taking the kid with me.
Like you better.
Probably would. I'm leaving with the kid, y'all.
What's that fucking movie where like the guy literally like uses the kid in like the produce section to pick up chicks?
Oh, is that a scary movie, right?
No.
Oh,
it might have been a scary movie.
I thought he was talking about stepdad.
It was another movie where
with Jason Bates.
The infant's parents died, but they left the couple.
Harry Potter.
No.
Batman.
Right? What infant movie you talking about? So many of them.
God damn it. No, like the parents left the godparents. You two are. I know he's coordinated. You are gonna hit him in the face. But yeah.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, it's bad.
No, you both are gonna like burn out the sun, reflecting your shit back at him.
Mine's bad.
Let's see.
Classic. The blind must compare the blind.
Ooh.
Actually, that's pretty close. That looks pretty close.
I think this is stronger than mine.
I think yours is a little bit weaker.
Yeah. It hurts. Everything is so.
My astigmatism is probably stronger than yours.
Woo!
You okay there, bud?
Yeah. And these aren't even my strongest prescriptions. I have some newer glasses. These are like my dancing glasses. But I didn't want to wear the other ones because they didn't match my outfit. The glasses.
Yeah, he's definitely gay.
Come on, y'all. Don't do that.
Do you know? So, like, here's a fun thing. If we're going to jump back into like the educating the cis white male in the gay community. Do you know any is there gay guys who are just as coarse as like standard heteros per se?
Coarse in the sense.
Coarse in terms of like they're like rednecky. They have no sense of style. Like some of the stereotypes that go into gays.
Absolutely, dude. Because you got to remember that sometimes people. I'm not even going to say the closet aspect. Some people aren't able to be them full authentic selves.
Yeah.
So they grow up this one way. And then when they're finally open enough to be, themselves and be gay or whatever, it's hard for them to fall out of what
they have a culture
know.
They're entrenched in.
Right. They're already, even though they're able to be like explorative and like find themselves and be who they are, they're still going to have their ways like they are. Like I would say for me, even though I found like who I was and I'm able to be free and open and I don't care about the stigma of gay people and blah, 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 and what my parents used to say when I was younger, I still am very, I would say, manly in the sense of like what my dad taught me.
Yeah.
And I'm a little feminine in the sense that my mom didn't teach me to be this way, but it's kind of like what I learned that we don't have to be in this box. And I still have my hood tendencies and I still speak with like, like I had to fight all my life too.
You'll run some dialect game.
That's what I'm saying, So like you don't lose that stuff just because you like.
Yeah. I am asking very ignorant questions because I'm shooting off the top of my head. Okay. But like there's that's
a part of the stigma though. Like a lot of people think like that. Like some people see that like when someone comes out, they're like, oh, if they came out, they're gonna change or they're gonna be different. Even my sister was like, so is this your coming out? Blah blah blah. When I did finally come out, I was like, yeah. She was like, I'm glad you did, but you still seem the same to me. I was like, yeah, ain't nothing different. You just know what I like now.
Yeah, basically, you know which kind of Cheerios I like.
Yeah, it's not like I was just gonna change my whole demeanor or my style or my voice. I'm not gonna start talking like this. Like I can play around and like joke, but that's not who I am.
That's where like I think I personally love like playing the stereotypical flamboyant gay character because it's a really fun character to play.
Right.
Because it's so sassy and full of energy, but it also makes a lot of people uncomfortable.
It makes it hard for people to understand and realize that gay people can be something other than that.
Well, yeah.
So when they do see it, they're like people still don't know what to. They're like,
so what do we do?
What are you? And I'm like, me.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Well, I think that's where like this whole like
know.
that's where I think like this whole trans hype that's I think being overblown, because I think there's something to understand where like population percentage wise, like the standard like hetero is probably like the highest percentage of the population. There can be some variance and whatnot, but like the variance or the harder extrema like get smaller and smaller by like population. So like I just don't see like making. I think there's a point to like make a big deal for like everyone being treated equally and fair. And I think that's a long process.
Yeah.
But like there's a certain part where there's a need to make it very clear. It's like they're the same person, just they prefer frosted than like
Right.
Honey Nut
And it's
Cheerios.
also hard when people are starting to get a little. There are always extremists in a lot of things. Like even with the alphabet community, LGBTQ, and then you got trans people. People are like, well, if we start accepting trans, we have to accept those people who are pedophiles and people who are psychopaths.
Oh no, I actually have a whole. I've been building on the pedophile argument for a long time in terms of I want to have a proper discussion about that part of the human race.
Yeah.
And I lead in with the part of pedophilia. I don't see it serving any significant part of civilization. And because I don't see any part of, at least in terms of the pedophilia and how it affects, it does nothing but scar children and young adults. That's all it does.
Right.
Like, and I know there's this weird gray area where like young adults get sort of brought into the gay community by like older gays. Like there's this weird sort of gray area there. And I think that's just like, if you're over 16, you kind of got to figure out your own damn life in a way. But I'm also going to play protection, especially like when I have the proper understanding of like, no, I've got a 16-year-old and there's some older gentleman who's trying to influence them in whatever way. Like I'll probably get mad protective on that.
Yeah.
So like, but like on the pedophilia side, I'm like, if there's a genetic reason for it, like there's proposed a genetic reason for the alternative sexualities, that needs to be understood. But like, we have to figure out how to like live with that. Because I don't think there's any good reason to go on killing people, but we can't sit there and just accept like, we have to sort of accept like they're there, but they're a part of the community that kind of needs to just be treated as like you're quarantined by like, once it's understood, like you need to quarantine yourself if you're going to be a responsible adult, and we're going to quarantine you because your sexual tendency, your sexual interest has no real value for civilization.
Right. And I was going to say on that note, I agree with you in the sense that like we need to address it in a mature sense.
Yes.
Why are we sending them to jail? Get them help so they can control their urges. So they control
that's also the
their
same
impulses.
argument. Well, that's the same argument that was running for the gay community. Like,
what?
Do you want the community to tell you as a gay man that you need to like go to counseling to take care of your urges? To like fix your urges, to fix like what you are, because that's sort of the run on that and the whole argument that was running on for the gay community.
I understand that. I think the biggest difference here is a kid doesn't have the mental capacity to be able to make a choice to indulge in sexual intercourse, which is why the whole 18-year rule is like, this person has had enough time and experience, and now that they're not in school
they're
anymore,
an adult,
so they can start making those decisions. And until then, can you not just, that's why I feel like if a pedophile can just wait and control their urges until 18, everything is good.
Yeah, but like,
but the thing is that they like kids. They like when they're younger. They like when they're little.
That's the oddity in their genetic.
What is the similarities in liking the same sex?
Well,
that's your same age. How is that?
Well, the only similarity, the devil's advocate I'm playing on there is therapy cannot change your nature.
Okay.
And if we're gonna run on the same idea, therapy very likely cannot change their nature.
Right.
So there has to be a very different approach of the community of like, the community has done a great job of recognizing that consenting adults
But I never said
consenting adults can do whatever they want with consenting adults, but in terms of like community support to figure out how to maybe provide the therapy to help, but what I just heard you say sounded exactly like the Republican thing or the Chick-fil-A thing of, we're going to figure out some scientific or therapeutic way to help them take care of their urges or fix them. And that's the same thing that was sort of being thrown at the gay side of the world, that like, it's a choice. It's a choice to be a pedophile. It's a choice to be gay.
That's not what I'm thinking, and that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I understand how you can get to that conclusion.
Yeah. Go again. Like I'm just playing bat here.
It'll help me better articulate what I'm trying to say. I don't want to try and fix or stop them because I'm getting tripped up because that comparison to gay people doesn't make sense to me because
it's one that's happened before because it's mutated where they think gay equals pedophile or some shit like that before, and I'm not actually trying to avoid that one.
Right. But I've heard that too before.
Yeah,
it's not in equilibrium at
all.
No.
It's like I'm a gay man. I like grown gay
people. Yeah, right.
Because the verbiage you use reminded me of the same verbiage being used like in the 90s of we're gonna fix them or therapy them out of.
In a sense, I kind of want like the reason I said that is because I was talking to my friend the other day and I revealed some very like personal like stuff. I was just like, sometimes I have these impulses to do things and I don't do them because I know it's wrong. My morals won't let me do them.
Yeah.
What about those people who can't control their urges? And then I use the guy from Don't Fuck with Cats as an example. He couldn't control his urges to harm another living thing. So he started off with cats, knowing that he wanted to harm a person, and once he felt comfortable doing that to kittens, he could do it to a person.
Oh yeah, it's just the progression.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like a pedophile, he wasn't able to control his urges to wait for that kid until they were 18. So he did it now, and now he got to deal with the consequences. What is wrong with a person that is gay trying to control their urges? There is no time limit. Like you have to learn yourself. So that's where that comparison is getting me tripped up on.
Well, you're running.
But what I'm saying is that we could help them. Like, yo, this is wrong in the sense that the kid doesn't know. Like, it's not right. I understand that you are attracted to them and this is what you like, but you got to understand that. I understand where you're coming from. This is such a like muddy thing because I don't know if you can fix them because they're gonna like what they like.
That's the thing. So let's say they're tied into basically 17 through fucking 5 or 4, some crazy shit.
How do pedophiles even come about? Now that I'm thinking about it,
I actually because I always am brainstorming on like stand up ideas to just run into crazy shit because like one thing I had is like, well, if crazy shit happens, because I always go back to caveman. Cave village shit. So there's a weird thing that happens in the scenario that I ran through my head is like, well, if this felt good, or if some idiot caveman thought this felt good with like a sexual or urination to sexual thing, and they just involve the kid randomly, and then there's some sort of like psychological genetic trip that just because we're all about activation of genes as like biological creatures. So I think there's a certain point where strange, primitive interactions with children equate to a pedophilic gene. It's sort of like think about grizzly bears and bears in general. The mama bear is mad protective and mad aggressive about protecting her cubs because male bears are usually carnivorous, or they're usually they'll eat their young. So like in a bear society, the mama bear protects the cubs from daddy bear eating them. Okay, we are animals. So like us.
Sorry.
You make how much noise during bedtime? We are biological creatures. We are animals. So like you can play hardball on that bullshit over there, but like we're the most advanced animals we know.
Okay.
So but us having bad genes in the pool, i.e. pedophilia, or receding hairline or whatever shit, they're there. Like we have faults about us that we have no control over, and that's a genetic basis. And so the thing is that it's very clear there's some things in human nature, like the serial killers, the murderers, the torturers, and just pedophiles. They're in the same grouping of this is a quality that you cannot get rid of, and so we have to figure out how we're going to deal with you. So do you let someone who's done no wrong but has a very troubling tendency exist in society?
Of course. Why wouldn't I?
The potential for danger. And this is where the question always asks, and it's a kind of Republican versus Democrat thing. Are you going to actually it's kind of whatever side you kind of go on,
that's why
it's a controlling thing.
Laws are put in place for if you do have sexual intercourse with children.
Well, laws are there to have like a place of reference. But if we go to a village standpoint, the community is going to agree on what to do. So do you go overly protective mother where you just kill them outright? Or do you just provide the responsibility of the individual and say, they may have this that they're going to have to trial with for the rest of their lives. Do we let them stay in the village? And
well, let's go
how do we change the community?
Let's go back to this conversation about it being a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So is sexuality a choice?
I'm about to ask you. When did you choose to be straight?
I never did.
All right. When did I choose to be gay? I never did. When did a person choose to be a pedophile? When they decided to not understand that kid is not ready to understand that they can't. No, they don't even know. Like you said earlier in our podcast, they don't. Sex is so ambiguous as a kid. We don't know what to do, how to do it. Why would an adult teach a kid that and traumatize them?
Well, that's where. So
it's definitely
the only interesting, and I'm not making. It's a little caveat. We don't have to anchor on it. Is that I know that there's a tendency of traumatized kids that had the same, that childhood like pedophilic rape. They repeat it. But that I think is a psychological thing of I suffered, therefore others must, and like they just continue the cycle as opposed to it probably reflecting their honest sexuality. You know what I'm talking about? The cycle is you have an initial like villain, they create a victim, the victim doesn't get treated or whatnot, they continue the cycle, and they create another victim, and it's another victim. So that's like another caveat of sexuality not being chosen for you, because there's like part of that argument of like your first encounter or something like that like decides you forever, some blank slate bullshit.
Dude, I remember being in kindergarten and think about this guy named Will and why he was so cute because he had earrings.
Yeah.
You tell me
no, I had a kindergarten.
What interaction did I have before that to think that this kid was cute?
Yeah, that's a whole other trauma.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. So I'm with that. I'm with you on that. Because I remember playing like peekaboo around a pole with this cutie in kindergarten, literally. So like that's where I think it's just a predisposition.
Yeah.
I think you can open up yourself to like make choices to do random stuff, but like, you know, it's that if you're gonna do a spit roast, like, sup, yeah, this is hot, whatever, dude. Like at least on like a my perspective kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like that's
I understand where you're coming from, but like if we're talking about choices, I feel like it is a choice.
Well, there is
to be
a choice.
Pedophile.
Well,
but I also agree with you in the sense that like that's something a part of our society that's an imbalance in the brain. Well, maybe not. I don't want to see it as a bad or a wrong thing. That is something that's a part of society that is gonna be in a human's brain that they're attracted to these younger people.
Yeah.
But how can they go around it without it being frowned upon? I'm not saying that I want that to be accepted. I just want us to be able to understand where they're coming from and how to
solve that.
Exactly. How do we troubleshoot this? What are the here's the steps that we take.
So here's a breakdown. Here's my personal perspective in a way is that my sexual life is actually pretty bland for a lot of reasons in terms of just figuring out how to be more experimental with my partner and everything. But it probably wouldn't surprise that like my porn history goes in crazy places. Okay. And even some of my fantasy stuff goes into crazy places, like even into non-consensual scenarios and stuff like that, just for reasons. But there's a part of you come out of your imagination into the real world and you go, well, I'm not going to go do some GTA rob a bank shit.
Right, because what?
Consequences.
Yes.
And real human interaction.
Yes, and your morals won't let you do that to another person.
Yeah, and your responsibilities.
It's your responsibility. You have to be able to heal on your own. You have to be able to I remember when I said control those impulses, that's what made you think about therapy and conversion and fixing. Maybe that was the wrong verbiage in the sense that like
it just procs something.
It's just like I don't know if I'm controlling these impulses. Remember I told you about like the serial killers who can't control theirs? What if it's not about controlling? It's about like how you weigh your pros and your cons. Well, if I do this, what are the consequences?
Well, maybe you have something that's like you can somehow Sherlock Holmes them, where you have a bunch of sociopaths, but they've just chosen to exist in society in a positive way.
Granted, I could be one of them. Who knows?
A sociopath?
Yeah,
you'd know.
Yeah.
You'd know.
But I have too much empathy, or I could just be an empathetic sociopath.
You don't move around enough to be a sociopath.
That's what a lot of people
they usually get figured out.
Yeah, maybe I'm just a genius.
You brilliant, you fantastic.
But
you don't break
I'm
relationships
not a sociopath,
like that.
you guys.
What's good?
There's no such thing as an empathetic sociopath because literally the neural pathways in the brain do not allow it.
I'm not an empathetic sociopath.
Yeah. They don't.
Never mind.
They don't exist. Like empathetic Republicans.
Their brain is actually like chemically incapable of allowing them to be able to feel empathy.
That's crazy.
So yeah,
but that's another thing. That's a part of human society.
You're not a sociopath, but yeah, you're a good person.
Thank you.
Kind of.
Man, I do remember some like childhood things and like that I would be like, crap, I can't believe I did that. Like that was so horrible, and I feel bad that
like gay stuff or just random shit.
Random things.
Yeah.
Not even gay things. Like, well, I know some gay traumatic things that happened to me when I was younger, but I had gay thoughts before even any of that stuff happened. You know?
Well, I think there's a certain amount because I can say that I was, as a child before puberty, you're sort of fantasizing about what you're attracted to in ways before you ever get
know.
Yeah, but before you even know what sex is, or before you even know how to interact with your body.
True.
Like you're just crushing hard on someone in 5th grade, and it's like you don't even know what you do with them. You just like want to they're just really attractive, and it's 5th grade. Like this girl was Megan Brown, I think, back in 5th grade.
Come on, you got the first and last name, baby.
Dude, that's such a generic name. You don't even know that's
right. I wouldn't hire Megan Brown. It's too boring. Sorry, I got to bother you on that.
Fuck you.
Anyways,
but yeah, like it's kind of all there. So then do you sincerely believe that in the individual responsibility part, to where it's like you get to exist in society, there may be some precautions so we know where you are?
Absolutely.
Because you're a mad, like, would we group them with like, okay, let's identify all the sociopaths, psychopaths, pedophiles, like in the community, have it on like a register, maybe not with their name, but we know they're there. And if there's a crime related, then it's like, well, here's a call out. Like, see, like that gets to some like hyper controlling shit.
I feel like that's where it gets like a little faulty because
that's
like
a police society
yes,
kind of
this person is registered as a sexual offender,
but they're not an offender yet. They're a possible offender.
Okay, a possible offender or a potential pedophile.
Yeah.
I don't think that they should be linked with every. I don't even know why that would happen. Even if they're like amount, I understand like the vicinity and that they were on the list, but like do some proper investigations. And yes, if this person is in the vicinity, ask questions and do your investigations. And guess what? If that person, however that person even got listed, to get them on that list in the first place.
So our section.
But wait.
Yeah.
However they got on that list in the first place.
They have to get on the list for doing something.
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't do nothing,
you ain't on no list.
You ain't gonna be on the list. If you do get on the list, then the cops have every right to think that you're a suspect because you did it once and you might do it again.
Yeah.
If you never do it once,
you're just lonely Greg on the corner, and the kids and the parents don't let the kids play with you.
You just watch, and your fantasies run wild, and you masturbate in your house like a. So then I wouldn't say that that's normal, but like you can't tell a person what to do in their privacy.
So yeah. So I was running. I've always been trying to figure out brainstorm. Well, I was running on a brainstorm of like, well, how do you help provide release, because I mean,
to not. I'm just saying, to go with the status quo. I'm running on. Watch whatever they want to watch and do whatever they want to do.
Well, except for the child porn.
Crap.
Yeah, exactly. That's the same thing. So you can't have.
Oh wait.
Yeah, you can't have child pornography without it.
That. Oh crap.
You can't. Yeah.
You can't have it without doing it.
No,
I'm not doing that.
No, yeah, you can't give them child pornography.
Lies, animation.
Yeah. Japan was going to be the solve on this, actually. It's like, because they have all that. They have Japanese characters and schoolgirls and stuff like that are very clearly underage. Like,
okay. And let them live their fantasies out throughout cartoons and hentai.
May anime save our children from pedophiles.
Bro, I'm not even kidding. When I was younger, I don't know where this is going.
Anime titties are hot.
But anime was like the way that kids were like introduced. I would say that's how I was introduced into like porn, I guess. And this through anime, and my friends been like, "Look at this." I'm like, "Oh, what's that? I like those."
I think one of the first sexual things I ever saw was my friend showing me this drawing from online of like Bulma sitting on Vegeta's lap, like some leg interlocking.
Bro.
And they're both nude. And I think even her breast was like shielded by like his shoulder or something like that, just like this, and they're staring at the camera. And I was such like some pure Christian boy, because it was like elementary school. It was back like. It was like right after the Cell Saga or something like that.
That's crazy.
But like that was one of the first things I ever saw.
Mine was just random like hentai.
I got to hentai way later,
Inuyasha.
and then it just like just went way down.
I stopped, of course, because it wasn't that great. It was just like, this is the way I can see that stuff that I can't see when I'm at home.
Shadow clone jutsu is a great idea.
Oh my god, sexy clone jutsu that Naruto did, dude, that was my favorite. I used to try and move the clouds out of the way. I think there was a feature on one of the games where the clouds didn't exist, and I never was able to unlock it. There was also this game on like Adult Swim where like you play volleyball, and if the other person missed, like the girls who were playing, like their stuff would start disappearing.
Like a bra and panties
Bro,
match.
yes, it was my favorite game ever. I used to play it in school.
So like
in school.
Okay. Well, because tech had no good blocks on shit
At all, bro.
I remember middle school playing RuneScape after lunch.
Dude, I played RuneScape too. Bubble Trouble, dude, that stuff was great.
Miniclip.
Yes, Miniclip was.
That website is still live, bro.
Is it?
Go on through, play some commando shit.
When I get home tonight.
That commando shit.
Dang.
That side scroll, just blowing shit up with rocket launchers and a samurai sword.
Tank. Remember that game?
No. I remember Pool though. Yahoo Pool.
Of course.
Yahoo Pool was huge back in the day.
Don't get me started on Miniclip. They had the best. I was a more strategy player.
Oh, you know what website was like fantastic, but they've closed down?
Oh no.
Tetris with Friends.
I thought you were gonna say Monkeys something.
I don't know about that.
Me either. I can't even remember the other part of it. Monkey Wrench or something. MonkeyWrenchGames.com.
So like, serious question though. So are you bi or?
I'm queer, dude. When I say that, like,
so like classify that, because there's gay.
I know.
Which is lesbian, effectively. Just gay,
right.
Lesbian,
gay just means you like the other.
The same sex.
The same sex.
Yeah.
Bi means you like both sex. I feel like queer is just like a denomination of everything. It's like overarching. You're just not really boundful because, yes.
Well, I feel like bi would do that.
I feel like that too, but I'm also open to being like with a trans person if they were like, you know, like.
So a bi wouldn't want to be with a trans person?
I feel like maybe so. Maybe so.
Because queer, I think, like, did you see the Dave Chappelle recent special?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that metaphor, that metaphor for like the car scene was hilarious, and I think it might actually be. Whereas like,
where he was like,
whereas like the gays, they're in the driver's seat, obviously. It's like, we've been here before. We built these for us, actually.
Right.
The lesbians sitting next to them, and the lesbians and gays hate each other because they don't understand why they like what they like. They don't like openly hate it, or they say like snide shit like, I wouldn't wear that.
Right.
And you got the thing that the gays and the lesbians can agree on is that they both find the bees disgusting. Because the bees are in the back of the car. It's like, I'll fuck anyone in this car.
Right.
But then you got the B's and the L's, or the G's, the B's, and the L's are supportive, but they're really, really frustrated by the T's because they're slowing the car down. The T's are in the back. Like, I feel for the T's in their predicament because it's a funny, fucked up predicament. But they're sitting in the back of the car, like, just looking out the windows. I'm hot. We turn on the AC and it's like, shut the fuck up, T's!
I fucking love.
And then
Dave
outside
Chappelle.
the car,
oh my gosh,
like they pull up, and say, oh, this looks like someone we might know. Oh yeah, they got them booty shorts on and shit. And it's like, hey friend, where are you going? It's like, the Q looks in. I don't know if B or T or L or G. I just know I really want to be in this car. That's a really shitty version of that joke. Basically.
No, but it honestly, it kind of feels like that because it just, this is why more vocab is coming up for transsexual people.
Yeah.
And
I
queer
think
people.
so.
And
I think the vocab is good for helping understand it for those that care.
Right.
I think what gets really stupid
extremists
is when like
when they start giving words to people who like feel like they're a kid.
Well, politically,
I'm a 6-year-old in a grown person body. No, you're not.
Well, that's a whole other thing. I'm talking on I'm talking on like how it's sort of like language control in a way, where it's like you can have this really complicated way of identifying exactly what you are. That's great, but most people don't give a shit.
Right.
Like we don't give a shit.
I know, which is why I'm queer. Yeah. It don't matter what I like.
Yeah.
Which is why me saying bi is like, oh, so you like girls and guys. I'm like, yeah, but like there is more out there than that because of the vocab, which is why I just say queer and I don't care.
Do you see your like? Well, I guess this is a question of
So
like.
yes, I'm bi. If that helps.
Bi equals queer, but queer just has this like larger breadth.
Exactly.
Like, because like.
Exactly. Which, it just helps me connect more.
It's kind of whatever.
It's just more broad.
Yeah.
I feel more.
It might be it's the lazy bi. It's like I like everything. Fuck off.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go live my life, and if I find someone I really like, put them in the friends list and put them in the relationship list, and then fuck them. I don't really care. There's not gonna be a point where I discover something about them, unless it's like a critical character issue that's gonna stop me from having a sexual relationship.
Also,
so you're like you're actually the least judgy out of the entire car.
That's good, but I'm also like not so caught up on the vocab. I'm glad I found some vocab to help me figure out what I like. But let's say we didn't have the LGBTQ at all. I would just be like, I don't know. I like what I like.
Yeah.
And I wish it could really be like that because my nephew, I had the situation where I was talking to this kid about.
You have
please just.
I don't think it's gonna be caught, and this will come out later.
Okay, great. But I was talking to this kid.
Actually, this is live right
about
now.
it. Great, and I was like,
you have a kid that you care a lot about, and
a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, nobody cares about that. Like, right? Like, nobody cares who you sleep with. It does not matter. Which is why I'm like, I'm glad we have the vocab to tell me what I like, and to help other people understand that what I like too. But at the end of the day, we're here to live and die, work, collaborate, have fun, and try and be happy as best as we can. Who cares what you like?
Yeah.
If the president like dudes, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't, because that's what in private.
I think that's
which goes back to the pedophile thing. Like, let those people do what they want to do in private. Don't bring it out. And if you do, you get put on the list. And if you do it again, you're going to jail. Don't act on the impulses, bro. Sorry, I'm just ranting now.
No, that's fair. I think
that's
scary, but I think it's the best version in a way of like. There's a certain amount of understanding. It's like, there's a lot of murderers running around town right now that have never murdered.
Right. I really, truly believe that, dog. Like, I really do.
And unless you want to get to some police state level shit, you kind of got to let the crazies run around and just like, the community, like the neighbors, like keep in mind who the crazies are, keep an eye on them. You don't got to, call the fucking cops or some shit unless shit goes down.
Exactly.
Like if shit's about to go down or if you're just like, you need to
see a bitch dragging a body, go, then tell.
Yeah, throw them a hefty and then call the cops.
Right. Don't
bag that shit up. No one wants to see that. I miss Miss Jefferson, but she ugly dead.
If they do it and don't get caught, man, we just slipped. They got away with it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's actually been some times where some murderers or some people have gotten away with stuff.
There's some Kennedy shit out there.
Right, I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, Epstein didn't kill himself. Like that bullshit.
Of course not.
Yeah, that's running through that, Joel.
Dude. That whole story really tripped me out. I was like,
yeah.
Did y'all not see the previous things that happened up until this?
Welcome to the Clinton administration,
dude. It's so scary. I'm like,
brought to you by Trump. Like
people getting wiped off the
face. I think Clinton lost the election and just decided to go on a murder spree.
It's Clinton. Oh my god.
God damn it.
Damn it. We should have known.
Probably actually. Where are we at on time?
Where we at?
Pretty sure we're okay. Where's the timer?
I don't know actually.
Yeah, we're at 2 hours 13 right now. It's chilling.
I still didn't know it would be that long.
No, it's chilling. See, like a lot of this, I told you, like once you get further into it, and you like calm down and hang out, and like this is really good for us because we actually get to like try to connect. Because I know, like you and I both know, because I said it to you in the message. It's like some of the best conversations you've ever had were like 5 hours long, basically. Right. Just sitting there and just like really diving into shit. And I think we really hit a good stride on like the craziest topics of all. I was like, how to incorporate pedophiles into your neighborhood.
It's a hard conversation because like anything like that or under the umbrella of taboo topics people don't talk about,
Oh no.
And it's like, why can't we talk about it? At least talk about it. It's out there, so why ignore it? Ignoring it is only gonna
like you don't if you don't problem solve, when the problem comes you will have no solve, and then the neighborhood's on fire.
Did you hear that? The neighborhood will be on fire. Great.
Brought to you by Kingsford Lighter Fluid. We are not sponsored by them, but I would appreciate it. Now.
But yeah, man, that's just a little bit of in my world.
That's a nice little rant right there.
Yeah. A little bit into my mind,
Mm-hmm.
I should put that in my album.
album? You writing something? Because you got that whole notepad and you writing stuff. So like,
Oh,
you writing spoken word? You writing lyrics or
I
what?
brought this out. I'm writing a little bit of everything.
You
It's
doing
like a
another?
mix
You doing
mode.
another album
I am. It's
by
gonna be a
yourself or with?
personal album this time, and I'm
Mm,
gonna invite other people to be on it. So it'll be like me
features.
featuring other people instead
Yeah.
of them featuring me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be pretty much what we kind of talked about earlier about like
Mm-hmm.
some childhood trauma and things that I used to know and think and how I'm interpreting it now or
Yeah.
understanding what
Yeah.
my mom used to say
Yeah.
then and what I'm discovering as an adult and my mindset of how to like stay happy and driven
Do you have any
and
artists
things like
or
that.
lyricists or
That are
songwriters?
inspiring me.
Yeah, that are like
Sorry,
helping.
let me let you finish.
You know what I'm asking here.
I don't.
Like you like
I don't know what's in your mind.
you got some. So like, do you know what genre you're sort of heading into with it? Are you going music first then lyrics or lyrics first then music?
It's definitely in the like hip hop R&B genre. It's
Mm-hmm.
like rapping song and a little bit of
Yeah,
poetry.
yeah,
But what I really wanted to feel like is that like neo soul kind of
yeah.
like chill vibe.
Uh-huh.
Like it's definitely gonna have some like boppers and you might want to dance
Like
to
funk or like hip hop? Cause like,
Definitely.
cause like the references that I get to run on, so I actually like know what I'm talking about. Is I like go like to Childish Gambino's funk album. A bit of Kendrick Lamar brought that in, like with Untitled Unmastered, and a bit of
Mhm.
To Pimp a Butterfly had some funk elements in it.
Okay, no, this is more like
Yeah, and you're gonna have to go like some pop culture references.
I would say it's more like poppy hip hop.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's but also chill at the same time. Like I still really have some neo soul aspects. Let me name some artists. I would say I got some like Frank Ocean,
That was gonna be the
Daniel
first one off the
Caesar,
top. First one off the
Daniel
top.
Caesar vibes, kind of like we're
Caesar.
chilling, but like there's also some like Drake vibes in there and some like
Yeah.
Solange, and I'm like you want to pop your head and be like, oh shit, and I don't know how many songs I'm doing just yet. I just have I've just compiled a whole bunch of my thoughts
Mhm.
and I'm kind of just taking step by step. I'm finding some beats right now. I'm talking to my friends and producers at the moment. And just kind of like these books are really keeping me, especially my Go book is just keeping me in line with like my everyday to do things and my intentions of
Yeah.
setting those every day.
Yeah.
And my calendar is keeping me on track. And my like personal desires, they're gonna come later. My album, I want to do like dance concept videos and
Mhm.
skits and write stuff, and that'll come like
You want to direct like full music videos for your album, for your music and stuff?
no, I want to do one concept video. That's it.
Okay.
But like outside of
So
that,
when you say concept video, like what does
This-
that mean? Is
like
that
you
for
take-
like the music that you make,
no,
or
you take like another artist's song and you like create your own like vision for like what they were singing.
oh,
Yeah.
I've literally wanted to do that since I was a child, actually.
Dude, I literally just did a visual for a song the other day with like this talent company.
Yeah.
And she was just like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I really like the song and it inspired me to think this, that, and the third. You think you can help me with it? Sure. She told us what to do. We recorded it and it's going to be out soon, pretty much.
Yeah.
They had like a little viewing party and everything.
I grew up with a lot of country, so there's kind of usually some storytelling there in terms
Yeah.
of relationship stuff.
Yeah.
Like I grew up on K92 FM, so like shout out there. Actually, I fell out of country when Taylor Swift and Carrie Underwood came onto the scene. I was like,
I'm
yep,
not
done,
even
bye.
surprised, bro.
Done, bye. Tim McGraw, you're retired. Brooks and Dunn retired. We're done. But there were some of those songs that I listened to, and I just created like my own music video in my head.
Right.
And then you watch the actual music video, and you're like, oh, this is so boring.
Yeah.
Like there's no story now.
That's why concept videos are made.
Yeah.
And especially, I think it's so much fun when dancers do it because it's interpreting what they said through dance or through like a little bit of
so like
acting, too.
I love pointing this. I love that I got to have this pointed out to me by some big Star Wars fans. Because do you know generally that like the prequels are pretty much hated by the Star Wars community?
I did not know that.
Okay, they're really hated because of like dialogue and a lot of like bad. And there's so much CGI and green screen that the acting suffers a lot, and maybe the talent pool's a little low. But one thing that made Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, with like Darth Maul and the double red saber, it was, I think, thought up by some evaluator that like the reason that part of the movie is so iconic for everyone is probably because the choreographers were allowed to just do that whole thing, because it's a no dialogue thing, that whole fight. But that whole fight with, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul is just iconic. And even like so remember when Obi-Wan gets knocked down like a platform, and Qui-Gon's like 1v1ing Darth Maul away.
I've never watched.
Oh, you never watched it?
I've watched one movie from Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So
I was gonna pretend,
what I'm
but
gonna
I'm not gonna let you.
Ah, bitch.
Sorry.
What I'm gonna basically break down is that just the choreography at one point characterized each character from the old master to the young to the young apprentice to the like predatory villain with just their body language and what they chose to do while they waited for some walls to come down.
I'm not even surprised.
Yeah, like it was just so powerful.
I bet.
And I hear that for like dancers being able to just like drive hard on just being able to tell a story even just with their body, just doing lock drop or some shit to just emote the lyrics out onto the eyeball.
That's why anytime I teach a class and I see people not giving facials and stuff, I'm like, yo, I don't want to sit here and watch you do this dance and you're not expressing no emotion. You know what I'm saying? Like you're telling even if you're just dancing for fun, you're still telling a story. Yeah. That story should be fun. Yeah. Your face is gonna say it all. Yeah. Your actions, you're gonna say everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I like contemporary too. Like people really interpretive dancing in modern and contemporary really touches my soul because it's a and it's usually to sad songs, but I've seen some really great contemporary dances to some like let's go, let's empower myself and go get it. You know what I'm saying? Like dance is amazing. Concepts are amazing.
I don't know if it would be called contemporary dancing, but when Melanie was doing her contortion, I went and watched the showcase. And it's mostly like high school or lower, or even lower than high school for a lot of these like young girls mostly. And they did one where it was by this song that like I couldn't find it anywhere. It wasn't even on Apple. Let me pull her up real quick because there's some songs that are only on YouTube. And so I have put them down in a playlist called Hidden Music. Like one of them is Weekend Players Jericho. I think you'll recognize this opener. Oh, fuck off.
I don't know that.
So there's one Dreamer by Elizaveta. They created in their contemporary dance, they had like a 4-post bedpost that was on wheels. And all the girls were dressed up in these like fairy outfits. So it's like a Tinkerbell sisterhood. And they just made this whole scene that just rolled so well with not even a sad song. It was just a very emotional song. Because like the opening lyrics is like, I believe in fairy tales and serendipitous encounters, like just whimsical. And Melanie and I both agree like that was almost worth getting in trouble to record the performance, because I think that is contemporary dance where they're just dancing across the stage in certain different ways through the full song.
Yeah, I would say so.
And I was like, that was amazing for like a relative story with a really good song.
I remember I was in this show at UCF called Dreamscape. It was a show with no words, only music.
Yeah.
I was a choreographer and in the show, and then there was a director. Her name is Chanel Goma. We're actually working on a project at the Orlando Repertory Theater together, so I know it's gonna be great. Can't wait. But what was so hard and so amazing about it at the same time was that we could only use our bodies and our faces. And some of us couldn't even use our faces. I wore a mask because I played the demon. So I had to try and embody demon-like moves with the music that was being playing to antagonize the protagonist, the main person. You know what I'm saying? And then there was another person. There was a pirate. There was another person. There was a dreamer. And the way we moved
I think you'll love. I have an improv exercise I think you'll love. I don't know if you ever had it before, and I think you would have referenced it with this example. So the first thing that comes to mind is The Mandalorian, the new Star Wars series that's out on Disney Plus. The main actor is in a helmet the whole series, but you still get enough body language to read it. Like it's still good. But the thing I thought of, so in level 2, at least for SAC here in town in Orlando, there's an exercise you do later on in level 2 when you start getting into real hard concepts of improv. The exercise is a door frame. Okay, there's a door frame, and we're in a shop of everything. So whatever you ask for, the shop's gonna have it. And I think in improv, no one wants to listen to you barter and worry about the transaction. Just have the transaction and keep moving, move the story along. And there's a cashier, and he's just there to take care of the transaction. There's nothing else. The entire purpose of the exercise is that you are, by like your walk at the start, supposed to embody a whole new character every time you walk through that door frame. The trick is you either get called out by the instructor to nope, try again, or you succeed, but at door frame you immediately turn on your heels and come back in with another character. And you have to just embody the walk, the
sound,
the everything. You have to just imbue the whole character.
I would love to do
that you pulled off just off you have to pull off the top of your head. There's no sit in the next room. It's like no, you're walking on now. You better figure it the fuck out.
I like that.
Yeah, like it was fantastic in terms of like.
That sounds fun. Let's do it now.
Oh yeah. Now, if I could get enough, like, if I could get a consistent, reliable batch of like creatives that, because I really want to like, if we stay here longer than we want to, I want to finish the last two pieces of SAC and then figure out how to, because I wanted to do a proper proper improv show like Whose Line does, but with actual improv stuff. Because Whose Line Is It Anyway isn't exactly an improv show.
Yeah.
It's a lot of set games, little easy games, and you just have like 2 to 3 people that are there to carry it with like a guest. It's not real improv where like, you sit down on a scene created by the audience and you just do it. Because I'd love to like run a live stream of it with like a live audience, like when like a little set of bleachers, and actually have some good improv. Like some actual like here's a blank stage, and we're about to like create a murder scene or create or birth someone out from underneath someone or some shit like that, like some real shit, and then live stream it.
That'll be fun.
Yeah,
I like that. Tell me, keep me posted.
We did it once with like a phone at a friend's apartment, but I'm just waiting. I'm waiting on something. I think I'm literally just waiting on Austin.
Austin, Texas?
Yeah.
Why wait? Do it now.
Could. I think you're helping with that because I could like, hey, come on in, bring who you got.
Dude,
they're about to have like another semester at SAC.
I feel that.
So I'm like, do I want to spend the $230 for that 8-week course?
Do it.
Oh, I'm considering it. Well, I got the money. It's more of like I don't know how you run your checking account, but there's a certain balance I maintain that's like got a good amount of cushion.
I do a $0 budget, so like usually I'm like, when my paycheck hit, I separate my money, and then I'm left with whatever. And when I hit 0, I'll just wait till my next paycheck.
For like just bullshit. For like you are living paycheck to paycheck right now, or like are you getting any savings?
Purposefully, I am getting a savings. I put my money where it needs to go.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Including in savings.
But you have like, here's my burn money.
Right. There's no burn money. Everything is budgeted for, even my burn money.
Yeah.
Like, so the money that I have left over, let's say I budget all my money, it goes into savings, I put away
bills and shit.
Right. Whatever is left over, I've already accounted for that too. I know I can spend this much for food,
fun,
this much for fun, and blah, blah, blah. So it's all accounted for.
Yeah. Good stuff. Is this where you organize and everything?
It is. I just consolidated. Everything was kind of spread out through all 3 of the books. I put like all my money and to-do list stuff out of here into this book. And then I'm going to just keep like any time I'm dancing or writing out like lyrics for my album or working on something creative as far as skits or writing out my choreography, I put it in here. And then anything teacher related is in here. So
in your red book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have an Excel spreadsheet for my budget.
I'm just playing.
No, I could send you a copy of it.
Really?
Yeah,
I think my sister's gonna give me an example too. I would like to have multiple references.
Oh yeah, no, Excel spreadsheet's good because then like when you have a fluctuation, because like sometimes like my Airbnb room it can peak like at 8, like high 800s. But then some months, like during the summer months, for some reason, I barely broke like 500. Yeah. So, but it's really good because you can just play adjustment or, I got a spare $70 from like pressure washing or something like that. Or I did what was it? My friend Sammy hooked me up. We went to the Orlando Emporium, like off I Drive, right after the corner. There's like this little like convention center spot where there's a stage. Yep. You might know what I'm talking about.
I do.
I got $100 for just running a scare house there for this Brazilian convention, and they were foreign, so they were okay with us touching them as opposed to Americans who are legal happy.
True.
But yeah, easy $100. Isaiah Tick was there actually. If you
Isaiah who?
Tick.
My thighs look so good. Oh, I know. I'm a tick.
Yeah, I've been trying to get him on a podcast.
Tick?
We met at Torian and Ty's birthday. Yeah.
Tick, you should definitely come on.
Oh, we've been trying to get him on since that scare house, that haunted house, but scheduling and like I practically took a month off once like the holiday started rolling through.
I just wish you could see my legs. My legs look great.
Are they shaven?
No, they just look strong and healthy.
Well, you just dance. You don't. Do you have any workout routine or anything like that? You just dance and perform.
Bro, I just dance and perform. That's how I stay so fit and so
strong.
Yeah.
Big strong boy.
Yeah, I'm a strong me.
So do you think you can get like 2 other people on deck to do improv?
Yeah.
I figure you could.
Dude, let me know. I can help you. I want to help you
do
prepare for Austin, because in my goal book, I say I want to collaborate and create more. So fuck yeah, I want to do.
Well, that's what's funny to me is that like last time we actually hung out was like in a Checkers parking lot after your like that duo album came out.
That was the last time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That was.
And you dissected it with me.
I broke down stuff. We broke down some psychological shit and stuff like that. That was like the actual last time.
Yeah.
That we actually saw each other.
That was the real last time.
Yeah.
So it wasn't my birthday. It was a little bit after that, but still.
Yeah, but still. Yeah. But yeah. Because like you actually asked me at the time, I was like, I want to add you on my list of people to hang out with more. I was like, all right, cool. And then you never hit me up. It's all good.
It's not like that. It's just like I still have.
You got a full. You got a full list. Like that's the reason I threw that group chat out there. It's like 1, y'all are like a core group of people of like your own like side of the world. 2, you're all cool with me or not like have had significant connections with me before. So if I don't extend the hand, I'm gonna get a no anyway. So I was like, hey, love y'all. I know y'all are big poppin'. Always have been. Always will be. If you want to come on into my side for a minute for just chatting it up, then here we go.
I appreciate that because I know it's not like I know even the list of people that I got. I'm like, damn, one person has been on this list for like a year, and that's just because she moved away, and we can't never really like seem to like if I'm there, she's not there, or like it just never works out, and that's okay. Which is why I'm like, I feel like people who get mad when you can't hang out with them, they
like
have
you
their
did in
priorities.
High school.
Right. They just don't have their priorities straight, and they're like not dependent on it, but like it really means a lot when they're able to hang out with like a person,
Yeah.
And so sometimes I feel bad, but like when we do get together, it's great. And even though she's been on this list for a year, we're finally meeting next year. Next week. Frick.
That's literally why I do my October annual every year. And I always I try to send out a personal invite to like every person, even the ones that are out of state. I actually have like part of that list I didn't finish, but like
I gotta go visit a friend out of state.
How far out of state? Like Atlanta or
Philadelphia? I'm gonna go visit my friend in Philadelphia. I've been to visit friends in LA.
Another Phil name.
Another Phil.
A Philsylvania.
I kind of want to find some more friends in some different places and be like, hey, let me come see you. I don't know. I just want.
We're about to. So like actually, because I got.
When y'all go to Texas, I want to come see y'all.
Word. Might have been Colorado. What is it?
Or there. Wherever y'all let them come.
We're about to like literally drive up to like we're literally about to plan or figure out a weekend. Well, we're trying to do a weekend flight out and back because actually I think this coming weekend would have been great, but because of her workload and I guess other things, we did it because it was gonna be like a $90 round trip for Austin. We want to go do a weekend trip and just with no plan, just go explore and see if we vibe hard enough to go. We're gonna rent this house and like buy or rent there for like a year, figure it out, and then make a decision. But we also have another plan to just like literally like leave early on a Friday or leave early on a Thursday, drive up to Greensboro, North Carolina with like this set or a small version of this set, go record some podcasts with some friends up there, hang out, have some good wines, smoking tobacco, cigars, and go see some good friends up there and shit.
Absolutely.
So
do that, man. Manifest what you want to do and put action behind it. I think that's been the biggest thing for me in 2019 and what made it fly by so fast, but go by so slow simultaneously. I was so busy, but doing things that I wanted to do and that I said I was going to do, and I actually did it. And I was like, why didn't I see that this was so easy before? And it's not easy. It's really not. But after you say it, and then you do it, and then you're looking at what you said and did, you're like, I can do it again.
Do you have a problem with recognizing your accomplishments, even the small ones?
Acknowledging them, maybe?
Per se. Like I'm trying to see if we have a similarity in that I have an issue where I will actually accomplish an incredible amount of shit in a day or in a week or something like that, and I will dismiss all of it as granted, perhaps.
Hell no.
Like
I celebrate.
Well, that's what I used to do. Because like I look at, because I'm listening to you going like, yeah, I've spent since 2015 stabilizing a lot of shit, but also planning out and accumulating the PC that can do it, buying all this shit, budgeting it out, saving up mad money or tax returns and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'm now realizing that I'm probably like $25 away from being able to have a 3-camera set for the podcast with like a few little changes on like a free program, a gift from the girlfriend. So I could actually sit up here with like that little mouse looking thing over there, and I could just sit there and just keep changing between like hit one button, that camera's on me now, hit another button, wide shot. So I can just like brain dead my left arm for just like, oh, he's talking now, I'm talking now. Like I'm that close to being at a level of production that I thought was going to take me another year to get to when I was just like brainstorming about it,
That's amazing, and
Yeah.
you shouldn't discredit that at all. Like, dude, you have to work for that.
I used to be incredibly
your own money.
Here's the thing is, especially with like not having a good father figure, is that I used to be really bad at recognizing like my successes, because being an only child, like, and also kind of recognizing in ninth grade, like, kind of, there's a certain point in high school where I recognized like how smart I was and how just like attractive I was to like in just a general way, that I've always been forever sort of fighting like the potential big head ego issue. So I always played the surround myself with usually women, because I did not understand or value the male hierarchy of society, like how like men usually work. So I usually end up hanging out with the girls, and so like there's usually like a running joke. It was like, he's the gay one. It's like, no, I'm just the one that figured it, like didn't care to play the male games of strength or other shit like that.
Yeah, because it's all like, society driven, man.
Well, it could be society driven. Like there is legitimate things in the male hierarchy, I think, in terms of just how nature works. It's just that I chose to just bypass the whole damn competition, because I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care to prove I'm better when, in a way, like I know I am, or I also just had like confidence or like core issues of just, because like I'm now saying where like I'm now able to identify the games men play with each other, like verbally and like in the roughhousing play area, that are actually like community and individual building, and like I know how to identify, because my whole idea of a good man got thrown out with my stepdad when like that whole big reveal came out like middle of junior year. Like it's like, hello, welcome to January of your junior year, and your stepdad's a gay pedophile. So good luck with that. Turmoil has arrived. Yeah. So like I just decided to play a different game, and it sort of perverted or made perverse my experience on how to, because I made myself become more feminine in terms of being emotional or understanding of women or trying to relate to women.
You think that's feminine?
Well,
being emotional and relating to women?
Well, yes and no in a way. It's not, there's no pejorative here. It's more of, because like, and this could go down to like basics of just like order being masculine, chaos being more feminine, without saying women are like, there's no pejorative. It's that's just how like we've created it as humans.
Exactly. Which I'm so like not against it, but I'm learning to unlearn.
I'll give you
that.
I'll give you a podcast that'll really appreciate it. Or at least like a quick like a lecture. But so I played a different game, and I just didn't know where to play it out, because the rough and tumble play, even in a verbal sense, was just so put me off and was sort of damaging to me. Like I was so damaged from like my parents divorcing when I was like in 5th grade, my mom remarrying like a few years later, and it was a very toxic relationship with my stepdad. Like the kind of shit where like it wasn't rough and tumble play with fair play and me winning. I never won. And the one time when I was probably at my peak strength, like I made it hit like 160, and I was my strongest in terms of weightlifting, and I like found like an extra year I could actually lift my stepdad like a bit. He had a whole nother gear because he was a narcotics unit police officer in his history. He found another gear and just pinned me. There's never a win. Like there's an actual ratio in rats where if the big rat doesn't let the little rat win 30% of the time, the little rat will stop playing with the big rat, and the whole relationship dissolves. And so like there was no like my mom was like, oh, he's teaching you how to like play or fight or anything. Like, no, he's not. He is pinning both my arms with one hand and making me say I wear pink panties. Like there's no fair fight. There's no do this instead. There's none of that. It's just this pure dominance game that he was playing. So whenever I had to deal with like a dominance assertion or a dominance contest with any guy of any kind, I think that's what made gay guys really weird to me, because they don't play that game the same way. Like I want to say that I think they play it in a very different way. That's what made all interactions with men very, for lack of a better word, queer to me. Just to like do a broad stroke.
Yeah.
So like
anything dealing with a guy is
just gay. Like when I had my at the same exact time, like during that junior year, I met two coaches that were my JV coaches that just like kind of changed my life in a way for in like one season. Just like these are good men. Like they're still kind of young and dumb in a way, but they were like good men, and like I knew I could rely on them. And they had a moment where like this is happening or whatnot, and my mom said like I need to stay here. Like already in the car. Like I just hung out in the back seat. My two coaches in the front seat, and they just waited. They waited for my parents to show up because like of the explosion that my mom had just found the crazy shit on Joe's computer, and it was like this is just blown up. So like stay at practice. And so they waited, and so like they I had mixed emotions about like that relationship, because that was the first positive male relationship that I had, and I got to see like two guys that had known each other since their childhood like fuck with each other on like, because one of them's a goalie and one of them was a striker. It's like, goalie, I've popped your cherry so many fucking times. Get the fuck out of here. Just like that shit talk,
right,
banter, but it's its own game of like kind of strengthening the other. And the only thing that we've gotten too oversensitive about is when that turns toxic, but no one recognizes it, because we had a history of getting too rough and tumble without a proper like soft introduction that helps like the kid grow. Yeah. So when I have like the attempted male role model my mom married, I had that like got blown out. It was just so toxic. And then I get two good guys, and then I get a weird thing where I can't even readily clearly identify my sexuality, because I just don't know really how to categorize. Like I know what I'm looking up and who I'm like checking out and stuff, which is like it's just nothing but girls like on the porn search and everything. But when you have complex emotions and after a certain point, there's ones like, no, I want to be held by a strong guy I trust, like a father figure kind of thing. Perhaps there's like no sexual innuendo. I had a really good close friend that attempted to do that for me, and probably because of the complexities of our relationship, it didn't work out. I even found that even when I got to like a consistent, good, solid relationship with a female, with like a girlfriend that I loved and cared about, I still felt like a gap of I don't feel, because like I always had a destructive mentality on it. I don't feel I can trust this smaller person, this woman, to do that for me, because I think there's a gap there of like my father should have been the one holding me and cradling me, because that was his fucking job. Of just that, of like the idea of like the wise king, like the good father that just takes care of you. And I didn't get that because I was like 10, and my dad, in his relative wisdom, decided that giving full custody would be better for my upbringing than anything else. And there's nothing really, and pressure cooker's done. And I reckoned that when I spent some time with my dad recently, I identified that I missed a lot of what he did in the 4 to even now, like 8 years since, so like 12 years, so like 12 years or whatever. It was about a 12-year span where I basically did not spend a significant amount of time with him on his side of the world. And I sat by like this trailer that was in my childhood backyard that was, the friends you grew up with, like, K through 5th grade. We all played on that little trailer, just like rickety rockety and shit like that. And I sat there and looked at that trailer, and I cried at that trailer up at his property. And I was like, I should have been up here every other weekend because I have no relationships with any of the kids that I played soccer with every fucking Saturday. Like there was a lot of great things that I got out of soccer, but I have no inclination to go back and coach it or play it or anything like that. Like it was busy work. It filled time. I didn't learn how to play the game well till my senior year of high school because I couldn't find a good coach that could teach me. And when I finally fucking got one, i.e. the male role models that showed up, it was just for JV. It was just for 1 year. So like it took until like now a year ago for me to have experienced enough positive male role models and to understand what I felt I was missing in those complex emotions to be able to go to like my uncle, who's a very kind of brusque individual because he does metal, and it's just his personality. It's on my dad's side. Sit there and have him teach me metalwork, like to make those two pieces right there, and how he's just gonna be kind of condescending and rough about it, and you need to fucking do this shit and stuff, and read through it all.
What's crazy is me growing up, I would say that my mom was the toughest on me about being a man.
Yeah.
Now, in retrospect, I remember even when I came out, she was the one who was most hurt about it because I didn't tell her first and blah, blah, blah. That's besides the point. But I remember talking to my dad, and he was like disappointed. He was like, how come you didn't tell us? I was like, I was scared because you know how the family talks about gay people and blah, blah, blah.
Have you seen Love, Simon?
Not yet. I do want to see it. I heard it was really great.
I
lied. I did. I went to the movie theaters to see that. I cried.
Oh, I loved him and his father's dynamic.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was such a great movie. Actually, I totally forgot.
I almost never watch movies. That's on the list of movies that I will rewatch.
I would definitely rewatch that. I rewatch movies all the time. But it was my mom who was pushing me to be like manly and blah blah blah. And when I came out and I talked to my dad about it, he was disappointed because he was like, well, you never heard me say anything bad about gay people. Why couldn't you tell me? And it was just like everybody else, made me feel that way.
When one says it, but no one says the opposite.
Right. Nobody ever told me that it was.
Yeah. When there's no counter narrative,
there was
just
never none of that. Yeah. But then in retrospect, I look back and I'm like, my dad showed me he loved me. He played with me. He told me he loved me. He also, I used to kiss my dad on the cheek goodnight. Yeah. Until I was like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I had affection from men. I had really great positive men role models, but it was my mom and the women who were trying to make me more manly and things like that. But there was never a counter that said that I wasn't manly, or that it wasn't okay for me to cry, or that it wasn't okay to be gay or anything like that. So I grew up with that, not even knowing that I had it, that I had the support to be emotional, that I had the support to still be by my dad's side and help him change his car, but then cry because I broke my nail because I keep my nails long. So does my dad.
Yeah.
My whole family keeps that up. Like just these things that will be seen as feminine
or gay
or weak, or it never was countered except by my mom again, or like a woman or something.
In a way, with just being masculine and
right. But I still had the opportunity to have emotions and do like these things that made me less manly. And I think when I came to college and I was able to get back in touch with like who I am and find myself, I realized that like, none of that stuff really mattered.
Mm-hmm.
And that like, I'm glad that I had both, so I could know that, it's okay to be tough sometimes, and I can be strong and fight and change my oil and change a tire and do manly shit, but I can also cry and embrace my feelings and talk about it and heal.
Yeah.
So I'm not a traumatized adult, or an adult who doesn't have emotions, or an adult who's going to have this package that I carry on and pass on to my kids or my nieces. And what would I be able to teach my nieces and nephews or younger kids that I now as a teacher if I didn't have any of that stuff?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's just my 2 cents.
I think there's what is it? I had something on that. There was a runaround somewhere in there. Yeah, it was a bit where it's like I want to be able to say like I think guys are as emotional, if not more emotional, than women.
Yeah.
Just women talk too much, so it sounds like they're emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Guys don't talk, and then they break shit. It's like, well, bud, sorry, Skipper, but you're emotional, and unfortunately, there's something that I think there's because I've been running around on this just now even is that I think there is a barrier for men to access their emotions, but I don't think it's a male thing or a culture. I don't think it's a male or cultural thing. I think it's a difference between men and women in terms of like how they function. And I think there could be a cultural thing in terms of like the ignorance of the emotional side of men in terms of recency. But I
You
think
don't
there's
think it has anything to do with how society has wired us to think about the roles of men and women?
not as much as we want it to be. I think there's a yes, but I don't think it's a hard yes. I think there is a toxic masculinity thing in that there is older generations of men that are just like no emotion shit like that, like some military old shit from like the greatest generation. But like you go look at celebrities at that time, like fucking fuck what's his face, the one that burned everyone all the damn time, carrying Don Rickles. Don Rickles was a very open, emotional sort of individual, and that's a role model in terms of a celebrity piece. I think there's something to be said that the world was much simpler. So the complex pieces and complex emotions weren't there. The 50s were a bunch of faking it. Like Dick Van Dyke Show is a great example of a very honest and good, healthy relationship, but there's something about those shows that paint a very simplified way of existence that isn't true for either role in the household, either men or female. Like women are you're just gonna be taking care of the house, and that's all you're gonna do, and you're gonna be emotional, and guys are gonna do their job and grow off and have their smoke. Like I think there's an oversimplification on both sides.
Right.
And I think that like I think there's a really loud narrative right now for guys being emotional, but I am concerned that it's going to create soft people.
I feel like we're already becoming softer in a sense. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I would rather us be emotional and soft and caring and
Well, I see, and
being careful and worried about people's feelings, so we can talk about this more and hopefully lessen the mental health issue.
Yeah, you and I
community.
agree on that 100%. It's the verbiage that we may like deliberate on, because one of the best things that I've heard that I love and I've already done is that one of the monikers, one of the sayings that I literally want to like frame and put up because I want to have my walls full of quotes, like good like original art and stuff. But like I love good word. Be the most reliable person at your father's funeral.
Yeah, my father's funeral.
That's a significant life goal to have. Is that it's the equivalent of being the most reliable person when shit hits the fan. Because the person that's crying and all over the place when shit hits the fan, they're not reliable and they're not useful at that time. So if you're gonna deal with shit hitting the fan and problems hitting,
agree with that.
Well, we're on the you got to solve the problem right now situation.
You can cry and do that at the same time.
You can cry, but you still got to get yourself together to do it.
Yeah.
Like the action of crying does not imply an incapacity.
Right. Okay, that's what I thought you were saying.
But if you allow your emotions to get the best of you and be unable to act or unable to take care of those that are there to cry for your father.
Should say that. Yeah.
Yeah. Better verbiage equals better understanding.
Mm-hmm.
If you're unable to take care of the people next to you because you are emotionally distraught and immature, then you are a child and you have yet to grow up and become a man, a woman, someone that can be relied on, that can raise children. Because if you're an emotionally unstable parent, then it's an emotionally unstable house, and those children are going to suffer.
I would agree with that. That funeral, I was stuck on the funeral aspect. I was like,
a funeral is a very highly
people can't like cry. They have
you
to
will
keep
grieve.
It together.
You will have your grieving time and everything. Like there's no denial of that. But you were there. I was there. I told them to get the doctor to call the time for my mom.
Mm-hmm.
I was the one that made the calls, and I cried on the calls that I knew I could cry on. and I was strong on the calls that I knew I had to be strong on. And at the funeral, I knew I had to talk, and no one wants a blubbering speech. They want a good, strong speech, a good, strong eulogy for someone that they're
Fuck what people want. Fuck what people want. You go up there and talk, and if you cry and blubber, then that's what the fuck they get.
And that might be my opinion on a good performance. And I care about performance. And I'd already had my cries. And I would rather be able to be the lone son of my mother, and everyone that's crying on me can actually come to me and be consoled.
Well, people gotta grieve and
how else are they gonna connect other than just through their own spiritual? Like, people are gonna connect through me. They're not gonna connect through my dad or through like the sibling I don't have.
I don't understand what you mean by that.
Who's the funeral for?
Your father.
No. Who's your father's funeral for? It's the whole community that he affected.
Okay.
Because it's not for him. He's gone.
Right.
Funeral's for everyone else there. Who's running that funeral? So you, the close family, right?
Usually the funerals that I go to, the preacher is in charge.
Preacher's not connected to that person. They can be.
Well, every funeral that I've gone to, the preacher has been connected to all of my family members, and that's just because
tight church.
Yeah.
Nice. Very good.
So that's a little different.
Yeah.
I think we grew up in it. I think us trying to talk about in a funeral sense, isn't really connecting because we have very different funerals, and
perhaps.
Also, I'm just kind of stuck on this idea of performing at a funeral or being strong for someone else, and being that reliable thing to be the mark that makes you a man or a woman, maybe some other examples that you said, like, if you're emotionally distraught and you should be raising in no family, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But like the funeral aspect, I know that other people should be able to rely on you and lean on, but like, that's not my job. That is not your job when your dad dies, or when your parent dies. And I really hate that it falls onto the oldest person. Like, you really expect that when my mom or dad passes away, God forbid, whenever that happens, that yes, crap. Like, it sucks that my sister's probably gonna have to be the strongest because she's the oldest, or maybe my brother because he's the second oldest. Like, why does it fall onto someone else to help me console myself and be sad and grieve?
Well, you have your system that's gonna help you console and grieve.
Right.
You have your family.
Mm-hmm.
So who's gonna take the responsibility of actually running that bitch? That's a responsibility to run a good funeral. It is a performance. You are gonna have your own fucking time with your close family. That can be at the funeral, but it's gonna be probably at home.
Bruh, if I ran my parents' funeral, I'm gonna cry and laugh, and it's gonna be a great performance.
Yeah.
I hope you should know that.
Will you be a distraught goddamn mess?
Hell, fuck yeah.
You gay.
I'll be like, dang, man, y'all remember that time when?
Yeah.
And then
and
we'll start laughing.
Yeah.
I can't get no words out. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm done crying. Okay. But we all here to celebrate my dad. He's not here. It's not for like I feel like the performance it'll be like more raw and real if you do show emotions.
So here's a tangential question. Mm-hmm. I think the white people can't dance thing is a cultural thing.
What do you mean?
Okay.
That's not true. White people can dance.
I'm aware. I think that actually we can spread this out to the minorities in a way, which is like Latino and African Americans. Is that their cultures, at least in terms of how they currently are way looser in a way for a very broad term, and white people culture in another broad term is very confined and strict.
Yeah, it is.
Because I hate going to white people dances.
And I think it's like that across the board. Like at your funerals, like you said, you have to be.
It's very Catholic.
Like it's gonna be like that across the board with everything when it comes to like white culture and in any other culture. We're gonna be loose because we've been tamed and told what's good and bad about us our entire lives, and the only standards that we have to follow are what kind of standards? White standards, which goes back to the name thing.
Well, you could
we have to have normal names to be a part of the standard. Well, you know what I'm saying?
There is African Americans have a very different thing, but the example I was going to run on there is where you choose to leave your home country, and you move to America, like Ellis Island shit, and you make the choice to change your name.
Right.
That's a very distinct immigrant thing. African Americans do not have that choice, very obviously, with the background and everything.
Right.
So I see the attempt. I just think that it is a rebellious thing that the child's gonna have to put up with for the rest of their life.
Oh, the name thing?
Yeah, the name.
Oh,
thing.
Absolutely. Like, I don't care that people
Like, are you
go crazy with it, but just the
Yeah.
aspect of just like the conservative and how like proper things have to be and strict. That's
like,
why I think other cultures are so loose.
Well, yeah, I think a lot more.
And it's not a bad thing about white culture, but
I think it's one of those where you could say in a non-racial way that it's just a comparison. It's like that's how they grieve.
Okay.
That doesn't look fun.
That's how they present themselves. That's how they do this. That's how they do that.
That's literally like
your dance function.
It's literally the breakdown from like I think I wish I knew more about like more European cultures. I seriously think like the strictness of white culture literally comes down from their Quaker roots.
It definitely comes from European culture. Have you?
Well, it definitely it comes from
growing up in like history and looking at their art and their architecture and this and that and how everything is so well put and has to be perfect and dude like.
Well, I think that's where actually if you go to European culture, it's much looser than it is in America. I think it is. I have the impression.
They need to loosen the fuck up.
Well, you understand who founded this country basically with Plymouth, right?
Yeah.
Quakers. People so uptight the British kicked them out. Is the joke. Actually that's 3 hours now.
Okay.
Yeah, we've made it. At the peak of this racial discussion. No.
But I
agree that I don't like the parts of quote unquote white culture that are so strict and so homogenized that it just removes any good personality.
Right.
Like
that's why when you were explaining about like the funeral thing, I immediately kind of like closed off. Unconsciously, I was like, that's not right.
Yeah, no,
that doesn't feel right.
I saw it. That
doesn't feel right. You know?
Yeah.
But like in your culture, that's the way you know. That's the only way to be. You know? And
the guy I'm bringing that from is, a white Canadian, basically.
Right.
So it comes from, quote unquote, a white background, so to speak.
Yeah. Shit happens, I think that's what really makes cultures different. And I do believe that there's a white culture. I was asking my friend, talking with one of my black friends about this. What? White people don't have culture? I was like, yeah, they do. We just don't know what their culture is or realize it because that's all we've learned. That's all we know. So it's just like it's normal to us, but they have a culture.
Oh yeah,
they definitely do.
It's funny because it's actually there. I think it actually is unfortunately a food's already. 10-15 minutes till it's done. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
It's your time to wrap up.
Roger.
You can put mine.
Lel. So here's the funny thing is that I think we've actually gotten to a point where there's been enough. Because remember back when like being Italian or being Polish was like a big deal in America.
Yeah.
We've now gotten to the point where like any of those old names don't really mean anything. Any of those like the guapo or like bad names for Italians and shit like doesn't mean anything anymore. It's like what? I think we're at the point where like it is literally called white culture because I think someone broke this down is that black culture means something because it's actually black culture because we got pulled from Africa with the slave trade and everything. So it actually is like black culture. White culture shouldn't really exist was like the post saying because you should then have Scottish culture or German culture or something that's like European. That's actually another thing. But I think America might be at a point where it's melted the white people so much that it is white culture.
Yeah.
And it either looks like middle class trying to be Anglo-European shit, or it's like redneck, or it's like San Francisco.
Just to support that, it's only literally like that in America. There's only white culture in America. If you go anywhere else, you can't say that about Canada. They have the white people are different there. You can't say that about Europe because there are different types. Exactly,
Portuguese,
there are different types. You can then start breaking it up into the Italians and all of that stuff. But when people are hearing and trying to claim, I'm not just white, I'm this and that, but I'm like, but you're here as a white person and benefiting from the system that was built for you guys, and it's the only thing that we know. The standards are here. Like, it's not saying that you don't have a culture, but you can't say that you have Italian culture unless you grew up like that. Like the people in New York who are Italians, like my friends in Oviedo, they are true Italians. They came from New Jersey.
Yeah.
They, even though they're here in America and it's still white culture, but they're true Italians because
they're like third generation
right.
Italians.
They migrated
Yeah.
from Italy over here to New York and then to Florida. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like it just you're right. It all just melts into one when you're here in America. Everywhere else.
Well, I think the melting pot's kind of in trouble when you care too much about protecting minorities. And I say that because there are certain there's anecdotal things where, like, Joey Coco Diaz, a Cuban American who grew up like in, I want to say Pittsburgh or some shit, big time comic or whatnot. And there's an understanding when you were moving, just like with my like great grandparent or something like that, when you are immigrating, you should be immigrating and assimilating into the country you're choosing to raise your family and raise your life in. I think there should be an expectation of assimilation in some regard, because like you're coming to America to be American, are you not? Or are you invading? Like that's sort of like the two extreme ends of that conversation.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah. Like if I want to,
I thought people were coming to America to be free and experience American culture because that's what America stands on.
That's a tourist
but
thing.
That's not what they push.
That's a tourist thing. Like, and freedom is everywhere. Like there's that newsroom clip. Freedom's everywhere.
True.
The only thing that America really has that gives it a cornerstone is we actually have free speech as an amendment. Nowhere else in the world is that an actual written law to protect free speech, which is like a cornerstone of Western civilization. It's a cornerstone of the human experience, I believe, because if I can't speak freely and possibly risk offending you, then I can't speak freely. Like, if we're not going to talk here and have open talk and risk offending each other.
You tell me people can't do that in other countries?
No, Europe is actually having a big issue where they're being so protective of the minorities or the Muslims or the refugees, or of not even be able to talk about Nazism or make jokes about Nazism and the Holocaust, that you can get fined or sent to jail and shit. Like there's a whole blow up on that. So like they can't have, like, I think the actual measurement for how free and free speech your country is the state of your stand-up comics, if you have any. So when stand-up comics who are just there to be entertainers and observe like society and where it's at, observe life and be offensive effectively, if they are getting burnt at the stake, or they are having to retract what they're saying or apologize for doing their artwork, there is something critically wrong, and the level of political correctness has gotten to a point that it is actually regressive and it is not actually helping who it's supposed to be helping. Because we can talk about political correctness, and I think there's like a medium place for it, but when you're getting to the point that you're so harped on controlling people's speech and not being able to have persistent open dialogue anywhere, then you're just playing some police state shit, even on just a community neighborhood level. Because if I can't speak freely and potentially risk offending you, if I'm not allowed that permission, then what kind of free society are we in?
Right. Especially if you can't even talk free, how you gonna know what's good, what's wrong or right?
Yeah.
Or what does offend people?
Well, like,
or not?
so are you the
so you can't make those.
are you I think I forget what like is the premise of this, but would you prefer your racist to be out loud and honest than in the closet?
I would definitely prefer my racist to be out loud because it'll let me know who to associate with, and who to not, or who to be precautious with. Because it's not to say that I haven't dealt with or been around racist people before, because I have.
Yeah,
I have very much so.
This is Florida, so.
Right, exactly. I went to Celebration to teach at a dance studio before, and people were looking at me sideways because I don't belong there.
You're the lone black dude in the middle of Disney country.
And I was driving my Impala at the time.
Oh, that rough work.
Yeah, baby. You know what I'm saying? So, in showing up there when they got Lexus,
I love
and
you, but that was a piece of shit.
Hey,
but it got you.
My car. It got me everywhere I need
to
go.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I had my Nissan Altima that I just sold. That thing was loud as fuck. I would have driven that till it died, but that thing was loud.
I literally drove mine until it died.
Yeah.
Sold it to the junkyard for $200, y'all. I think $150.
Get it done. Get it done.
I said, take this shit. And they came and
I'm gonna go get me What's 4 times 150? 600? I'm gonna go get me 600 gumballs.
I should have.
Just roll up to like, I don't have those anymore, but like remember like the big orb on top and just the spiral down.
Yes, I used to love those.
You could
And
just walk
literally,
in and
not
just
even
like,
for the gum, just to watch the ball
oh yeah, it's like
or whatever pattern. There was one time, one of them was so extravagant, it rolled down and went back up.
you ever
There
get
was a
those?
thingy that it had to go through.
Okay,
Like a
you
little
had to have grown up watching
obstacle.
Ed and Eddie, right?
Of course, the
remember
Jawbreakers.
Yeah, the big Jawbreakers of the movie theater. That was the only place you could find other than like big candy stores. You ever go through one of those in a whole movie, basically?
I didn't even finish it. My Jawbreakers took like days to finish.
Oh Jesus!
My dad and mom hated it. You need to throw that thing away. It's disgusting. It's not even finished yet.
Dude, I think I literally lived in like poor white enough that I wasn't allowed those Jawbreakers because they're like 50 cents.
Even though I was poor, I usually got anything I wanted if I was good in school.
Actually, I have a whole Harry Potter stuffed animal collection or whatnot that I got for good grades over a year.
I'm not surprised. I like that about. This is such a weird sentence about being poor. I even wrote that in one of my songs. It was just like, I grew up poor, but I didn't feel like I was poor just because I got everything that I wanted for just having good grades, bro.
Well, the only people that know they're poor are adults.
That's when I knew I was poor. When I got older, and I was like, "Why can't you do stuff? We don't have any money." I'm like, "I could do this when I was little. What do you mean I can't do it now?" And there was a budget, and then I had to learn about that, and then
yeah, no.
$20 used to give me everything.
I got to see like my mom's tax return once or twice back when I was living here, back like in 2011, 12 area.
Yeah.
She made like maybe mid 40K. And I'm just like, that's really good money because she was a licensed optician and everything. But I kind of sit there and look at that money and go like, she was raising me with that. Bought this house brand new basically, or just like just from the top. I don't think she had a lot to put down on it. She dealt with that whole damn divorce, paying the lawyer and all that shit. She went through, and she supported the hell out of my stepdad. So she helped take care of her Corolla, the 2 SUVs that they got. One that they got, one they like lent to a friend of his, and then she eventually like got her own was it Toyota? The Toyota SUV. Yeah. So yeah, I always look at that and go, I don't even think we were surviving on that at a certain point. Because before she was doing that, she was just cleaning houses and shit, and then she went back to her certificate.
Dude, the things that you just don't realize.
Oh, that was a story.
When you're a kid.
Well, we were at a soccer tournament or some shit like that. She sent me in with money to Steak and Shake. She stayed in the car and had her granola bar. I went in and had lunch with all the team, and she just stayed in the car. Like, I don't know if she did that because she was gonna read or whatnot. She didn't want to do it because she knew I was gonna be with.
Probably couldn't afford it more than just feeding
that was kind of my impression because it was just me and her, I think, at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happened. I mean, a lot of stuff your parents did was just because not that they had to, or they had to in the sense that like, why let your kid go hungry?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I appreciate that my parents kind of drilled that into me, especially with all the toys I got to grow up with. Like, you're spoiled rotten, you know that, right?
Dude, that's literally. Can I just tell you what the line says? It says, I grew up poor. I was trailer park living, but I felt like I had everything because anything was given, and that's because I earned that. And though I was a bad kid, Mama said make good grades and you can have it. So I did that. They called me spoiled brat, but I don't care. That's back when I was just a rugrat. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. That's good right there.
Literally, what I'm talking about right there is just like things that you thought about when you were younger. You didn't think about or understand until you're now. Now.
Yeah. We square?
We got some.
All right. We got fresh foods, kids. We're gonna shut this bitch down.
All right, man. This was a great talk, Aaron.
I think it's a really good proper intro for us because we only got like not to like downgrade it, but we only had like shallow interactions up to this point per se. This is the first time we got to like try to sit down and try to hit deep. You know what I'm saying?
I think our last talk
our
about my
checklist
album was deep.
That was
fucker.
pretty deep. It was on the album and like a psychoanalysis. So like deep in the mechanic, but not deep into like you and I and shit.
Social life and just, you know, human aspects. We talked about a lot. Holy crap.
Oh yeah. Bye.